It is a day that you think about if you're a Wabash College or DePauw University alum every day of the year. What happens these next 3 hours, well, frankly, might affect your mood for the next 364 days. It's Bell Day in Crawfordsville. 131st Monon Bell Classic is at Little Giant Stadium, and for a fifth consecutive season, it is on the ISC Sports Network. My name is Greg Rakestraw, thrilled to be joining you. To my left, it is Brad Wochomurka representing DePauw University. To my right, it is Steve Hoffman, of course, representing Wabash College. Walk, as the team that is the holder of the bell, will start with you for DePauw. They will not win the conference title this year. They're 8-1. They lost to John Carroll. However, they can qualify for the Division III playoffs for a fifth consecutive year, and most importantly, they can win the Bell for a fourth consecutive year, their longest stretch of time since 1996 through 2000. How does DePauw get that done today?
Well, I mean, DePauw is a very, very good football team. They have been for a few years, and I think what they're trying to do is just build off the momentum that they've had under Brett Dietz of being a national contender, being a playoff team, being a Monon Bell champion team. And so today, they're going to look to lean into that defense that is number one in the nation in rushing yards against, number 6 in scoring defense, but also the Ballantyne brothers. You've got Scott, the sophomore quarterback, Robbie, the record-breaking wide receiver who could break more records for DePauw all-time receiving yards, touchdowns, catches, you name it. He could break more of those today and into the playoffs, but you mentioned it, Rake. This is all about the Bell today and that senior class being the first in 25 years to not lose a Monon Bell Classic. And then the cherry on top, how about another trip, which would be the 5th in a row to the Division III playoffs for the Tigers.
Steve, for Wabash, again, it has been 4 years since Bell victory in 2021. The last 2 games here have been absolute classics. And Steve, I think the general feeling is this is as level as these two teams have been going in quite some time.
Well, it's amazing, and we were talking before the game, Greg, and if you look at the not only this is the first time in history both teams have been in the top 25, which amazed me when I heard it, but also if you put the results of the season, playing a lot of the same teams, same conference, next to each other, they are remarkably similar, especially that John Carroll game with John Carroll beating DePauw 31-27 and beating Wabash 31-28. So, and you just lay it down. So this has the makings of a classic game and one for the ages here.
Rich Fisher, our referee for today's contest, is about to welcome our team captains to the center of the field. The 4 captains that are representing Wabash College are TJ Alexander, Gavin Rupert, Quinn Scholler, as well as Zeph Johnson. Having the honors for the DePauw University Tigers, it is Luke Nolan. It is Caden Whitehead, Dominic Siebel, and also it is Owen Roselle that have the honor of being our team captains. We'll try to listen into final instructions before this game goes live.
I'm not sure either one of these guys even cares what the ref says. Final instructions.
They're ready to play.
They've got their instructions. They know what they want to do.
DePauw won this game each of the last 3 years. Again, they have won the contest here 2 years ago in the first and only overtime game in the history of the series. Wabash has won the toss. At least it appears to be the case. So DePauw will be kicking off, and obviously the weather will be a factor. Yes, it is breezy, but my goodness, temperatures are in the upper 60s, 68 degrees at last check. It could be the warmest Bell game in some 26 years as handshakes are exchanged on the Wabash College logo at midfield. Let's welcome the 4th member of our broadcast crew. We're thrilled to have Kelsie Kasper back with us again. Kelsie, take it away.
Well, Greg, it's a new era for Wabash football under head coach Jake Gilbert. And when talking to him this week, I asked him, what is the biggest difference in their group compared to last year? And he cited their mental toughness. He felt last year this group gave up in the second half of the Monon Bell game. They didn't battle. But this year, he believes they are tougher and mentally ready for this challenge. As for DePauw, talking with head coach Brett Dietz, he believed this group is more primed for a rivalry game compared to last year. Last season, they beat every opponent by 19-plus points. He wasn't sure if they were ready for a close game. But this year, they have battled adversity all season long, dealing with injuries, featuring some comeback wins. But also, this group knows how to win, especially the seniors know how to win a Monon Bell football game. Looking for their 4th straight this afternoon. Greg?
Kelsie, thank you very much. Again, thrilled you're with us, I believe, for a 3rd consecutive season here on ISC. All right, so with that, Steve, let's talk about the Jake Gilbert factor. Again, by far from his first Monon Bell, he played on his first one 30 years ago, actually here this month of November. Was on the sideline as the head coach in waiting last year. Now it's on his watch. What does the Jake Gilbert factor mean for this game?
Well, when Jake started here as a player, I was on the coaching staff at Wabash, and I can tell you he coaches like he played. His motor never stopped. As a player, he was an undersized defensive lineman, but he played above his weight, punched above his weight, as they say, and he's carried that right into this Little Giant program, puts everything into it. He really builds a level of confidence, but he's also concerned about building, young men out of this thing. And I hear him say several things to the team that allude to that. So it'll be fun to see how the first Jake Gilbert team, comes out in this Bell game, because looking at the Bell games, Wabash has not started well. Even the game we won in 2021 did not start well.
21-0, come from behind victory.
And since then, yeah, so each game. So I'd like to see the team in red come out and get something started on the positive end a little bit early.
What forever will be known as the Liam Thompson Stiff Arm game here at Little Giant Stadium from Somme 4 years ago. You see the wonderful shots from above. Again, of all the feedback we're getting in this broadcast, that look from above the stadium tends to be everybody's favorite. We expect 8,500, if not somehow more, to file in eventually. Sometimes the outside party is really good, and it takes a little time to kind of work people's way into the stadium. There you see Brett Dietz, and my goodness, what a job he has done, Brad, at your alma mater.
Yeah, he really has. 49 in 8 overall. And how about this? He's 6th in all levels of college football in winning percentage for any coaches that have 5 or more years on the sideline. That list ahead of him, it includes names like Ryan Day, Kalen DeBoer. It's pretty good company to keep, and he really has made DePauw into a national powerhouse. But winning percentage, wins aside, it's this win, it's this W that makes it the most impact for any head coach of the DePauw program.
Time to kick this one off. Buddy Gomez will handle this part of the kicking duties for DePauw University. And there is a breeze that could be a factor in terms of the kicking game in today's game. Well, wherever you might be watching from, thanks for spending your day with us. It's Monon Bell 131 on the ISC Sports Network. Wabash, much more aggressive in terms of special teams under new leadership. A solid pop at the 22-yard line. This is where the Wabash College offense will take over. Starting quarterback for the Little Giants. Second Monon Bell game for Brand Campbell. Campbell on the season, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, just shy of 2,000 yards passing. Top running back for the Little Giants is Xavier Tyler. 525 yards rushing on the year for Xavier and 3 touchdowns. Luke Adams is the top receiving target. 42 catches, 609 yards, and 8 touchdowns on the season. It's Tyler that is the lone setback in the backfield. Campbell out in the flat. That's Adams. Catch made. Should be right around the first down marker, maybe a yard shy. Tackle made in relatively quick fashion by Aaron Wagner. Call it second down on the yard.
Well, I'm not surprised by that first play call. We talked about DePauw's rush defense. First in the country is all you need to say, but a total of 92 yards on the ground all year.
It's Tyler, and we'll get the first down. Gain of 3, maybe 4. And again, a reminder in college football, sack yardage is accounted on the rushing game, or in the National Football League it is not. But yes, 10 yards a game is what DePauw is averaging along rushing.
Insane.
Tyler is 5 yards away from having opponents, say, rush for 100 yards on the season, let alone in a game against this DePauw defense.
And that's a really nice job. I think, like you said, Steve, Wabash just finding an easy completion, getting to the rim of the offense, and then if you're going to run against this Tiger defense, make it on 2nd and short.
4-man rush. Campbell able to avoid pressure. Slings it. Catch made. First down. Stepping out of bounds. Just past the 45-yard line. First down for Wabash.
Yeah, and Brandon Campbell is really good in that situation. We'll see that all day long. Well, we don't want to see it all day long. Coaches will say he's really good doing that, but we don't want to live on that. When he gets flushed in the pocket, he is so comfortable. You can see it in the way he gets out there, the way he throws. He keeps looking downfield, doesn't tuck it up too early, so he can be a danger when he gets outside of the pocket.
TJ Alexander on the catch. TJ coming in, 2 receiving touchdowns. That is his 24th catch of the season for the senior flanker. So back-to-back first downs for Wabash. Now on the handoff, and again, good solid gain up the middle. That's the backup tailback in Cole Dickerson, over 300 yards rushing, and 5 touchdowns for Cole, the sophomore. Give him 4, 2nd down and 6.
Hey, 3 more of those, and we've surpassed DePauw's rushing yards per game.
Yes, there have been some games of negative yardage in terms of carries that DePauw has allowed this season. Good run-pass balance here. Again, Adams out in the flat. And right now, DePauw is kind of allowing that underneath stuff. That will be shy of a first down, but it sets up 3rd down and a yard.
But again, that's a nice job by Campbell, just knowing, hey, where's my guy, where's my safety outlet, and receiver right over there, just a quick hitch. Just sit and wait. Don't do anything else. That's all he did, and it moves the ball.
Handoff goes to Tyler, and Tyler, again, just enough for a first down. 2 or 3 yards is a solid gain in the rushing game against DePauw. And, Steve, that's 3 first downs now in the opening drive.
Yeah, and I think Brad hit the nail on the head, and, it's taking what they give you. Because the other thing is DePauw's pass rush. We can't sit back there and hold it very long.
Chris Green in on the tackle. Campbell will fire. Catch made by Adams. Did get rid of the ball right before he got to the line of scrimmage. That's a gain of 12 yards. First down, Little Giants.
Thought DePauw may have jumped. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. And again, using his legs, Campbell, just to draw that defense in and knowing where that safety outlet is. A nice catch and run for the first.
48 yards on this opening drive for Wabash. They have quickly moved the football to the Tiger 30-yard line. 5-man box here being played by DePauw. They'll walk Nehemiah Dow a little bit closer. Tigers bring 4. Again, Campbell avoids pressure. Roselle giving chase. Campbell stumbles, but again, not a negative play. It's been 2 or 3 yards and then some chunk play, Steve, on top of that.
Well, and I think that's the way DePaul's defense, besides stopping the run, they'll get sacks, which helps to that rush yardage you alluded to. And I tell you what, 42 and 97 defensive ends for DePauw are really, really, really good. And so I'm sure Wabash is doing some things to try to mitigate their effect on the game.
That is Nolan and Siebel, and they have been key players on defense for an awful long time here in Crawfordsville.
Yeah, 4th and 5th all time in career sacks at DePauw.
Siebel in the top 10 in Division III on the season in sacks. A little quarterback counter, which again, not the norm from Wabash, but there's always plays you trot out that are a little bit different when you get to the bell game. 8-yard pickup, first down Wabash.
Well, I think it's another one of those to try to mitigate that pass rush a little bit and try to slow them down.
Looking to cap off what would be a 78-yard opening scoring drive. Adams on the grab. Again, Wagner on the tackle, but not before a gain of 8. As Wabash continues to matriculate the ball down the field on this opening drive.
You wonder if at some point this might draw those DePauw corners up a little bit tighter. And then, of course, for Wabash, that's when you potentially take a shot down the field.
On the handoff, it's Dickerson, and Dickerson will have the first down.
Cole Dickerson has been out for the past, I believe, 2 or 3 games, and he's just now back, and that is a big plus. He had a good bell game last year and 2 years ago, and just to have fresh legs in there for Xavier so they can rotate each other in and out will be helpful. 6
first downs on the drive for Wabash, and a drive that has now taken over 5 minutes off the clock. Couldn't script any better for Wabash as long as they reach the end zone. Play clock is at 5. Campbell feels some pressure. Again, tries to make a play, and that was going to be out of bounds regardless. So first incompletion thrown by Campbell, but No yardage loss, second down.
Yeah, great decision, though. I mean, throw it only where your guy can maybe make a play on it. But, again, avoid the sack. That's the big thing there, especially now, with a goal-to-go situation that Wabash has.
Majority, you said it's a great drive if you get points out of it.
Right.
Because, you can get 80-yard drives all you want, and no points doesn't do you any good.
And 3 would almost feel like a bit of a loss given how well this drive has gone so far. We're going to look back to the sideline, play clock. On the handoff, it's Tyler, touchdown. Tyler got it to go. Wabash caps off the opening drive. They go 78 yards, nearly 6 minutes off the clock. Steve, talk about not starting well. They have today. Wabash on the board first.
We haven't seen it start like this since before COVID. How about that for Wabash? It just hasn't gone well early in the game. And, Wabash, I know the coaches said we got to take what they give us because their pass rush is so good. We think we can get some short throws, and that's what's happening. It'll be interesting to see how DePauw's defense reacts to this and if they start sending some people, because they're really a base defense because they're good enough to be able to do it.
Rutgers' extra point kick is up and good. We'll step aside for 60 seconds. Wabash on the board first. DePauw gets the ball when we come back. It's Monon Bell 131 on the ISC Sports Network.
It's been very beneficial for me to be a DePauw alumni.
Having a DePauw education has propelled many people that larger places didn't necessarily afford opportunities.
I'm really thankful for my DePauw education. It helps me truly on a daily basis.
I want to be a part of positive change and momentum for DePauw.
If you're a DePauw alum, you're willing to help DePauw students. You have that shared experience and you want that to continue for generations to come down the line.
We're proud to reimagine Blackstock Stadium as the Blackstock Stadium and Athletics Performance Center.
This best-in-class facility will not only redefine Division III athletics, but also elevate the entire fan and community experience at DePauw.
Here, traditions will thrive, and the unique DePauw spirit that connects us all will shine even brighter.
A look at drive at number 1. And again, Wabash always fights. In this opening drive, Steve, it was Wabash was always moving the football.
Well, it certainly was, and I know the coaches this week want to take what DePauw gives them. Look, DePauw's going to sit in most of the base. They're going to slant their front a lot because they're good enough to get a pass rush that way. Brain Campbell getting the ball out of his hands pretty quickly that time, taking what the defense gave them, which is exactly what the coaches want. We were talking at the break. It'll be interesting to see next time Wabash gets the ball how DePauw's defense reacts as far as like any different schemes, maybe starting to get some linebackers involved. I know number 10 for DePauw, outside linebacker, is really, really, really good. See if they find a way to get him maybe pressuring the ball a little bit.
78 yards on the opening drive. Campbell 5 of 6 for 47 yards. 7 carries for 31 yards. So a 13-play scoring drive that, again, takes 5:39 off the clock. And now, Brad, it's time to see if DePauw has the answer.
Yeah, well, how about Jake Gilbert coming out and getting in his bag right away? First drive, and you see that touchdown. And that little trick play, you got the quarterback, Campbell, looking over. I don't know what the signal is. I don't know, direct snap, boom, touchdown. That's a Monon Bell play if I've ever seen one right there.
It's funny, I saw Westfield run that play twice at the end of their game last week. It's almost like there's some sort of Westfield-Wabash connection, and this one easily out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Well, and I bring that up, too, to see, you kind of script some of these game starts, especially in a Bell game. You might have a thing or two you want to do early on, some trickery. So now we'll see if Brett Dietz has something similar that he might answer with in this first series for the Tigers.
All right, so getting ready to take to the field to play for the DePauw Tigers. Their quarterback in Scott Ballantyne, the sophomore from Crown Point, Andrean High School. Of course, his brother Robbie is his top target. Scott in his first year as a sophomore, 26 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. He has thrown for over 2,300 yards on the season. Caden Whitehead, senior from Park Tudor, is the setback. He had 199 yards, a DePauw Bell game record in last year's victory in Greencastle. And Whitehead gets the first carry and is going nowhere. Loses 3 on the play, second down.
Well, that's one thing that did not happen to Wabash on their drive. You don't want to see if your DePauw is playing behind the sticks. Now you've got a second and long, starts to make it be a little bit one-dimensional. So good start for the Wabash defense.
Second down and 13. 3-man front being shown here by the Little Giants. Ballantyne looking to run. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Wabash gets through the line of scrimmage again. Trevor Ings, junior nose tackle, makes the play.
Go ahead,
Brad.
Well, I guess that's something we'll have to keep an eye on the whole game because Ballantyne doesn't run much. We've seen that from past DePauw quarterbacks, so he's not a guy that's going to beat you, or if he would be surprised if he did on the ground.
If you know that name, if you've been around Monon Bell games, the last name Ings of the 4 years. His dad was a 4-year quarterback starter in the 90s and had a good Monon Bell history. So that's his son, Trevor.
Generations tend to follow generations at each of these two schools.
Had a nose guard though. He was a
fair point.
Small guy.
3rd and 13. Ballantyne airs it out and broken up. Outstanding defensive coverage that time for the Wabash College Little Giants. That's Brock Robertson that was back to make the play. The intended target was Palmer Samuels, and DePauw goes 3 and out on the opening drive.
Yeah, there were some targets down the field, but really good coverage by Wabash. That's, again, it looked like it opened up. You might have a different quarterback try to use his legs and run for a first down right there. Ballantyne, though, with the wind behind him, we'll see if the teams that are going this way, kind of left to right here on the screen, tend to air it out a bit more with that wind.
Somebody Gomez is on to boot this ball away. Gomez, a 42-yard average on the season. His long is 69. Wabash has specialized in block kicks this year. They have 11 of them. Adams back to return from the 36-yard line. And Adams will get what he can and steps out of bounds after a gain of 10. And now, Steve, it's about trying to capitalize on this momentum that the Little Giants have early.
Yes, and every time, I've seen this year, every time the other team is punting, it's an interesting play because Wabash is leading the nation in block kicks with 11 and tied for the nation's lead with block punts. With 9. You'll see number 32, Connor Grimes, has a bunch of those this year just because of his speed off the line. So that makes the punt games interesting, puts pressure on the other team. But let's see how both teams respond here after this game has started.
Field position has flipped a little bit here, too. The first Wabash drive at the 22, this one at the 48-yard line. Rolling pocket for Campbell. Just trying to buy time. Here comes pressure, and Campbell will go down. That's a sack for DePauw and a loss of 5 on the play.
And if anything, the coverage downfield allowing that to happen there. DePauw maybe slipping up a little bit what they did on that first series to allow their pass rush to get to Campbell.
You're exactly right, Brad. He had a bunch of time back there, but great coverage sack, as they say. And those guys up front are eventually going to get to him if he's back there too long, and they know that.
Roselle and Green amongst the gentlemen that got back there first. Counter play to Dickerson on 2nd and 15. Siebel wraps him up. He gets back the loss on the sack, but really for the first time in this game, Wabash finds themselves behind the chains on 3rd and 10.
Siebel with a really nice job sort of setting that edge on the counter and able to push the running back into that pile. And so you're right, Rick. First time we've seen 3rd and long, and we'll see what Wabash dials up.
Can DePauw get home before the receivers have time to get past the first down marker? Wabash 1 of 1 on 3rd downs in the opening drive. That's how effective they were. Campbell fires Dickerson. Great extra effort. Did he get there? Yes, it looks like he did. I think he got right to the marker. Absolutely. 10 yards, first down, Little Giants.
Interesting defense on DePauw. They rushed 2 and then had a spy on Brandon that time, which is an interesting way of responding. But it was 3rd and 10 as well, so great effort by.
That's what this game is about. It's all about extra effort plays in both directions.
Phenomenal. 2 feet inbounds by inches right there, and then extending the ball. And that's a tough kid to bring down. Dickerson, 218. That's a big running back.
Nathan Creed was the player that got to him about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, but Dickerson walked the tightrope and stayed in bounds. Fake the toss, delayed blitz, and it's picked off. Intercepted. You mentioned Joey Rowland. There he is, the outside backer from Greenfield Central. First momentum-changing play of the game for the Tigers.
I mean, DePauw needed that, absolutely. You wonder if Campbell just didn't get enough on that. Not sure if maybe he didn't see Rowland, but clearly not enough to get it over his arms, and a big, big play for DePauw when they needed it most.
Yeah, it came out of his hand funny. It didn't look like he had everything behind it. I don't know. He was talking to Cannon Chase, number 6 there, when they came back. I don't know if they weren't on the same page, but that's what this game now it's how people respond. We know those plays are going to happen. Both coaches, I'm sure, talk to their teams about it. things like this are going to happen. How resilient are you going to be?
It is a ball-hawking defense for sure for DePauw. For Campbell, his 6th interception of the season. So we'll see Ballantyne back out there. There's certainly, it's going to be his game. But because of the depth that DePauw has at running back, they will bring in Carson Johnson, former Cathedral Fighting Irish player. There are a slew of Cathedral Irish players in this DePauw roster. Out in the flat, catch made, that Samuels. And Samuels taking advantage, unfortunately, of an injury to Will Castor, who, of course, will live in Monon Bell lore forever as the game-winning catch to win here 2 years ago. Unfortunately, Castor gets hurt. It's led an opportunity for Samuels, and he's taken advantage of it.
Yeah, and that's a nice play on first down. I mean, we saw DePauw get behind the sticks and first down on their first series, so now you've got second and manageable, and you get back into your offensive rhythm.
And for Ballantyne, that will go as his first completion of the game. 2nd and 7. Hand off to Johnson. And Johnson just kind of picks his way through the traffic. He'll pick up 4 or 5 yards and set up 3rd down and short.
You got big Rylan Watkins down there at the start of the right guard, and just standing there as running back. Johnson runs right into him. Might have had a few more yards, but hey, good job by the big fella blocking downfield. That's what you want to see in the run game.
Johnson on the season, 291 yards and 3 touchdowns on 38 carries coming in.
If you're going to run into a lineman, can you pick one of the smaller linemen? I mean, he's sitting there 6'3", 315, and that's the guy you're going to run into.
We don't have that many smaller linemen anymore. They're all about this size.
Well, especially in the team in white today. They're big up front.
This is no longer small college football in terms of crowd, in terms of size of players, and not sure what the conversation is here. But Brett Dietz is going to have a chat with our referee and our line judge before this play.
Steve, you're the official in the group. What is this, a substitution? What's usually maybe being talked about in these situations?
Yeah, I don't know, because there was no play clock issue as far as DePauw having to get a playoff or anything like that. I'm not sure.
That's what I'm wondering, if he's making a point about how subs are coming in and off. If they were trying to go quicker. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, it could be. And remember, in college, if the offense subs, the defense has time to sub. And I don't know if that had anything to do with that, but we'll hear it right now.
Whatever the explanation is, it was a very civil conversation.
All right.
And it's 3rd down and 2. Thanks to those of you watching from literally all across the globe. Folks checking early from Chicago, Kansas, South Carolina, Madison, Wisconsin, and even in Crawfordsville. And now the conversation continues here. Jake Gilbert will motion his team.
No penalties, no timeouts. No injuries. Can't figure out what this is.
I'm not sure if is there a communication issue, but potentially to the coaches up here in the press box. Is that maybe the issue?
You know, I thought I saw Coach Dietz sort of fidgeting with his helmet a little bit now. Is he reaching up to it? His helmet, his headset. There it is.
Momentary break for us.
What do you guys, is this 4 down territory here?
I
Maybe
don't think so yet.
Yeah.
This early in the game, especially given how good DePauw has been defensively on the course of the season.
Yeah, I don't know. If it gets to a 4th and 1, it's 4th and less than 2. I'm not so sure, because I think you're sending a message to your team. We can get 4th and 1. We can get 4th and 2.
That's almost a universal go on 4th and 1 at this point.
Yeah.
For all of you watching on watch parties anywhere around the globe, make sure you go to the ISC Twitter page. There is a link there where we might put you on the broadcast today. We got a real smart guy that runs our show, and it's not me. That would be Jordan Shue, that handles all of our production for ISC Sports Network. And we have figured out a way that you can interact with us in the broadcast via Zoom. So for those of you that are watching at a watch party now, go to ISC Sports Net on Twitter, click on the Zoom link on our Twitter feed, and wherever your watch party might be, like I know there's a watch party at Moore's in Greencastle, maybe we'll put you on the broadcast. You never know. Yeah, the issue is as we thought, it's the comm system to get information from the booth for DePauw.
And if we look to our left, where the DePauw coaches, they're on cell phones now. They were under the table, kind of trying to plug things in, change things up. So, yeah, it's clear they're scrambling right now with their communication system.
Quick check of the North Coast Athletic Conference standings again. Conference standings tend to take a back seat in today's game. But again, John Carroll, who is new to the league, is going to win the league this year. Steve mentioned just how close those games were at DePauw and then at home against Wabash earlier in the season. By the way, John Carroll does play Denison today, so the top 4 teams all face each other. Again, it's crazy to say this, but if you've lived this rivalry, you get it. The postseason is almost secondary to the Bell game. But the general thought is, with the expansion of the Division III playoff field last year from 32 to 40 teams, 13 at-large teams, that the winner of this game will likely get an at-large bid. However, this is also new last year, there is now a small handful of bowl games for teams at the Division III level, and whichever team were to lose this game would likely represent the North Coast Athletic Conference in the Open Doors Bowl Series. They play next Saturday at the Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Back to action, 3rd and 2. Ballantyne in the flat. Johnson, first down and more. Picks up 15 yards. Still going, has 20 yards. Down to the 27-yard line, a 23-yard pickup for Johnson and a DePauw first down.
Well, I will say this, if you're going to have that long between plays, you better have a good one dialed up, and they certainly did. Johnson out of the backfield off of some play action, wide open with room to run, an easy throw, really well-designed play there.
Johnson, a guy that, again, has been the backup, that has been a featured part of the attack in years gone by. I'll say forward progress down to the 28-yard line. So DePauw trying to answer after getting the shorter field on the interception thrown by Campbell. It's a fake. It's a throw for the end zone. Lukowski just couldn't get to it in time. It'll be second down.
Yeah, I think he had a step. Now, again, that's the windiest part of the field down there. A little more open, and the wind is at the back of the Tigers. Might have contributed to that ball sailing just a little bit over the head of Lukowski.
Will Freeman, the young man on your screen, had the coverage for Wabash.
And Will Freeman's really come on. He's kind of become, well, both corners are playing well this year, but and that's where you want to throw it as a quarterback. You know, you don't want to undercut that because you have the defender, ready to undercut it. You don't want to underthrow it, so pretty good place to put it.
Well, a sophomore from Plainfield, hand off to Johnson. Gets a couple of yards and no more. Again, Ings helped to make that play. But also Samuel Pariah, a freshman, was there. And trust me, that was a guy that had the attention of Brett Dietz before this game.
Yeah, he's really coming on, a freshman from Westfield, and they like him a lot. Really happy with their freshman class. Not a lot of them getting playing time this year because it's just really tough. You talked about small college football. It's different. It's really tough with these two good programs to get on the field as a freshman.
3rd down. Potential field goal range. You want to keep the drive going if you're DePauw. Ballantyne slings it in. Pass interference.
Well, that's a tough one. I mean, you see that flag probably more often than not, but that ball looked like it was underthrown. Good coverage, but when you're going to go into the receiver, you're going to get that flag out more often than not.
Again, I turn to the Mike Pereira of our broadcast as
well. I know.
Pass interference there?
I think you have to call it because he wasn't playing the ball because he never turned around and looked back at the ball.
Great replay to show you again. Just unable to turn around was Gage Gully.
Yeah, and what we see, what people see is an underthrown pass that probably wasn't going to be caught, but it wasn't underthrown enough where it's uncatchable, and you got to give the receiver a chance to come back and get it.
By the way, let's note, that's the first ball thrown the way of Robbie Ballantyne in this game. And again, he has so many catches and is so high up the DePauw all-time list and the current Division III list. That's notable when his first look, Brad, is 11 and a half minutes into the game.
Yeah, it really is, and maybe trying to get some other guys involved, and Wabash might be doing a good job of recognizing him in coverage anyway.
Trying to get to Ballantyne out of the flat. It was covered. So again, the younger Ballantyne in Scott will simply run with the football, and he'll charge forward for a gain of 4. And it'll be second down.
And the tough thing down here, you got a Robbie Ballantyne. You can't try to double him up like we've been trying to do, I think, in the middle of the field because, you know, the offense is talking about it getting tougher to throw down here. It's also tougher to cover people because now you're kind of stuck in a one-on-one situation against a really good receiver like Ballantyne. And I got to tell you, as a Wabash fan, every one of those deep balls I'm like, oh, I hope that's not the 84 because at some point, like, he's going to make his mark on the game.
76 catches on the season, including 16 in a single game. Second down. Good blitz pickup, good recognition by Ballantyne, and again, that was a great play for DePauw, Brad, just because they didn't get sacked and he threw it away.
Oh, absolutely. That looked like it was going to have sack written all over it and blown up, and a really nice job there by Johnson just to pick it up enough to give Ballantyne some room to scramble and throw it away.
Pariah obviously got there first. Brody Fry was there to help force the ball out of bounds as well.
Yeah, and if it just could have kept some outside leverage initially on Ballantyne, could have got that sack, but still a win for the defense there, and a big, big, big play coming up here.
Officially 1 for 2 on third down so far are the Tigers. Whitehead back in the backfield for this snap. And you are in field goal range here. You're hoping for more if you're a DePauw fan. Blitz coming. Ballantyne throws. Touchdown. Layton Lukowski.
Just like the Monon Bell game last year, it's Lukowski that gets the Tigers in the end zone for their first score of the day. And we talk as much as we do about Ballantyne, but Lukowski, what a great number 2 receiver. Just a nice inside slant route there for the touchdown.
Yeah, the bad news for DePauw is one former Carmel Greyhound receiver in Gabe Quigley. His eligibility's done. The other one in Layton Lukowski is still out there. And again, back-to-back Bell games with the least to score.
Yep, and what a drive for DePauw. And to capitalize on the turnover, you get the momentum back on defense, you continue it on offense, and try to tie the game up here.
Again, extra points are not going to be easy because Wabash has such a penchant for blocking kicks. Contact at the end of the play.
Yeah, that's going to be either running into a roughing the kicker, depending on what leg he hit, probably roughing. So they will count those points and then march it off on the kickoff.
For Lukowski, it is his 7th receiving touchdown of the year. And again, other than in a couple of games this year, Brad, DePauw really hasn't been challenged. So you know they've got the talent. You just go, all right, how's the mental makeup? It's just fine here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, I think to respond, here on the road and take a punch in the mouth, you haven't been down much at all this season. So to come back like that, and now we've really got ourselves the ball game that we thought we would have.
We also have another flag at the top of the screen along the sidelines. I don't know if there's some kind of sideline interference or sideline warning, but everyone is down on the end. That would have been thrown by the sideline guy over there down toward the sideline. That's what's interesting to me about it. Unless it's some kind of unsporting, but still an odd place for the flag. So,
again, there is the foul on the kicker. That's a relatively obvious call there as Matthew Berry takes a tumble. And we'll listen in here and monitor.
Offside defense, number 32. That penalty is denied. Welcome the kicker, defense, number 32. That penalty is accepted. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. DePauw, assistant coach, that penalty
So basically that turns into offsetting penalties. Does not affect the scoring of the extra point try. And the kickoff once again back from the 35-yard line.
Yep, 2 15-yard penalties, ends up right back where it was. So what an answer from DePauw. And after that little delay because of the communication system, DePauw really had it rolling.
Again, you see the rankings on the screen, and all three of us are in somewhat of amazement given how good these programs have been. Now, the ratings era is from 1999 on. But just to kind of repeat this, first time both teams have been ranked in that era when they have played each other in this game.
And it's surprising because of how good they've both been at the same time over those 25, 26 years. And so some have been receiving votes and been close. But, it just speaks to the quality of these programs. It speaks, too, I think, to the quality of a team like John Carroll in this league now. That's the only loss for both these teams. You wouldn't have that in the past. Both games were close. So what's it, rising tide lifts all ships. John Carroll in this conference has done that because now these two teams are playing for second place and a playoff berth. Expanded playoffs help, but better opponents help even more.
Yeah, and next year it's going to get even tougher with
right.
Washington University and St. Louis joining the conference as a football-only member. They've had a good program, so I love it. Rising tide raises all ships, as you said, Brad. That is spot on.
Wabash and DePauw will no longer be the western outposts of the NCAC when it comes to football. On the return, good solid run back. just shy of the 35-yard line. Connor Grimes on the run back for Wabash College. With a player down at the end of that play for the Little Giants.
Nice return there. That's going to, really help Wabash, especially after what could have been, who knows where they would have started had those penalties not offset, and DePauw would have been able to kick off near midfield.
And hello to those of you watching us today from Toronto, Canada, from North Dakota, from Missouri, and yes, even from Greencastle and Crawfordsville. Even people that live in the hometowns of the two teams sometimes struggle to get tickets to this game.
Yeah, hot ticket. This was not an easy one to get, even if you were, forget even living in the towns, maybe even being a student, maybe even being a past player. It's hard to get tickets to this game this year.
I referenced Gabe Quigley. Okay, Gabe had 3 catches for 3 touchdowns in last year's game. He is now a former DePauw student, a former DePauw athlete. Coach Dietz told me that he was in the queue to get tickets when they went on sale. The DePauw allotment of tickets sold out in 40 minutes. Gabe didn't get tickets.
Wow. That's unfortunate. Hopefully he's got a connection. I would think he knows a few people.
Let's get to the sidelines and Kelsie Kasper. Kelsie, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, we just saw a great return from Connor Grimes, the senior running back for Wabash. And Coach Jay Gilbert told me that a big improvement from last year has been the special teams for Wabash. We've seen great kickoff returns. We've also seen block punts, block kicks, and Connor's been a big part of that. He's been awesome in kickoff coverage this year.
Injured player. I believe that's TJ Williams that is the injured player that was slow to walk off the field. TJ getting some assistance, but in his first Monon Bell game for the former Center Grove Trojan. Again, rolling pocket in the flat, and that time Adams. And literally you can see the gesture swing receiver quarterback. I said this way. No, I said this way. Thankfully, it didn't go the way of Aaron Wagner from the Wabash perspective. Second down.
Well, DePauw, looks like gives up that flat because that's a long throw for anybody, and it's just got to be spot on. And if you catch it and then they make it, if you get a tackle right away, it's not that big of a game.
Empty set in the backfield, so right. 5 wide receivers here. Tyler stays in the game, but he motions out as a slot receiver for Wabash. 4-man rush. Campbell fires and incomplete. Chase was the target. Coverage applied by Holt Hildebrand.
That's really the first time we've seen Wabash throw the ball down the field, I think, so far, into that DePauw coverage. A lot of it's been on the flats or to the running back so far.
Hildebrand's a great story. 2 twins from Tulsa, Oklahoma. One plays offense, one plays defense. Not just the Ballantyne brother story. The Wabash answer would be the number of chases that are currently on the Little Giant roster.
And another chase coming.
Jack is graduating at Chittard and is heading this way next year. On the counter to Tyler, and Tyler got hit in the backfield, gets no gain on the play. Nolan blew that play up. 4th down coming, and we'll see the punt team for the first time for the Little Giants.
Hey, look, this game is a game of momentum, and it's fun to do the broadcast and be part of this game and feel it, watch it swing both ways. Obviously swing way over the Wabash side early. Now it's swinging toward the DePauw side, driving down and getting a score, and now getting a stop, 2 stops in a row on defense.
Kicked away. It's Tyler Church. A short punt that does take a pro-Wabash bounce. And it'll finally nestle down at about the 29-yard line. All right, we've seen 2 drives with 2 different results. There is a flag down on the play.
It's something on DePauw. I saw the official point, but I didn't see if it was a hold or I'm going to guess a block in the back.
Yeah,
it was late. Yeah.
Rich Fisher, our referee. Andrew Browning, our umpire. Jordan Nipper as our headline judge. Bart Buckler, our line judge. Trent Stout, our side judge. Nathan Saint-Ignon, our field judge. And Tim Bradshaw, our back judge for today's game.
I'm not a special teams coach, nor was I ever, but if I were, I'd be pretty upset about a block in the back penalty when there's no return. That's kind of a hard one to stomach right there. for DePauw, especially when they would have had some nice field position.
It depends on how the block in the back was. I agree with you. They would never call a hold there. Sometimes a block in back becomes a player's safety foul, and as officials they say you can't let any of those go. Depends on what, like I said, was it a push in the back or was it a all-out, just takeout?
By the way, that camera work on the field is the result of a former pretty good football player, DePauw, and Mike McManus. And like we said, we got Zoom Cam getting all the watch parties during the course of today's game.
It's a great feature. Could be dangerous here. Let's keep it PG, folks, throughout the game. I love that, though, seeing how people are enjoying this.
Was that a Swiss chalet that was just joining us? Was that the flag inference that I was seeing?
Might have been like a ski lodge.
Yeah, that is Greg Burke, class of 1977 in Switzerland, where he retired. He tunes in every home game, every live stream, texts us, and he has gathered other people in his town in Switzerland to become Wabash fans, because over there, they're like, it's in the evening now. They're having fun.
This is prime time viewing.
Yeah.
And we're prime time over there in Switzerland, so unbelievable. Only Greg Burke, if you knew Greg Burke, would get it done to have a Zoom call and get into our broadcast.
Funny thing is at this game, I call myself Switzerland. I'm the only neutral that's in the building. Ballantyne throws tipped away. That's Freeman. Will Freeman again makes the play. So it's 3rd down and 6.
Great play, good coverage there, and for Wabash, I mean, their defense right here really trying to make a statement. A 3-and-out would be huge after the momentum shifted to DePauw. We haven't really seen DePauw with a 3rd and long like this.
2 for 3 on 3rd down, frankly, for both sides today. Ballantyne early, 3 of 7 for 34 yards and a touchdown. Need to get the football to the 28-yard line. Little Giants bring 5. Ballantyne slings it 1st down. And guess who? Ballantyne to Ballantyne. Robbie runs the route to make the catch. A gain of 15 yards and a DePauw 1st down.
It's a really nice throw, and you can just see the receivers that are really, really good at what they do. When they catch so smooth like this, just placed right there, tight coverage, just let that ball travel in, still use his hands to make the catch. That's a receiver that's been doing this at a high level for a long time.
Let's call this the Ballantyne-o-meter. 4th in receiving yards in Division III, 6th in touchdowns in Division III, 4th in receptions in Division III. Not too bad.
Yeah, and Coach Gilbert talks about that, and you can't double him so much because then they can run the ball.
Ballantyne again. Ball tipped in. Well, Robbie turned into a defensive back that time to try to knock that ball away from Mike Holzclaw.
Jordan Miller for the Little Giants, good awareness there to see that ball was tipped, meaning, hey, I can get physical. I can sort of go in and make a tackle. There's no PI once that ball is tipped, and he went in and got really aggressive to ensure that couldn't be caught on the tip. Right here. Good job by Miller, like really getting aggressive there.
So it's 2nd down and 10. This, barring a penalty, will be the last play of the opening quarter. We thought this would be about as even a game as you could have. It's exactly how it's played out so far. Wabash shows just 3. Handoff to Whitehead. Able to run through the first wave of contact, but there's Holzclaw again with help from others to make the stop after a 7-yard pickup. Through 15 minutes of football, Wabash scored first. DePauw scores next. We're tied at 7 with 2nd quarter action from Crawfordsville. Back to you in just a matter of moments as you're watching 131st Monon Bell Classic. You're doing so on the ISC Sports Network.
When I hear the word brotherhood, I immediately think of Wabash College.
Just that close, tight-knit community. For me personally, that's what I was looking for in a school. I know I kind of thrive better in those close communities just because you get more close relationships with the people around you.
The brotherhood really becomes apparent to me when I see students supporting each other in ways that I wouldn't anticipate. There's a sense of community above all else.
One of the things that makes this brotherhood so special is that you can really open up with those around you and form truly deep and meaningful connections.
If I'm sitting with my friend and if they ask me how I'm feeling, they mean it and they genuinely want to know if I'm struggling with something, if there's something that they can help with. Everyone is just there for each other, and I respect that a lot.
I will see your Switzerland and raise you a Scotland. And by the way, on Zoom camera, Wabash 2, DePauw 0 so far. So DePauw fans, make sure you get on the Zoom. But DePauw fans, what do you respond with? Well, it's the fact that you have the bell. Obviously, that will ring and tone throughout the course of the game and the broadcast. And Wabash trying to wrestle that back for the first time in 4 years.
Yeah, it's not fair to have those Wabash Zoom calls go right to the bell because we don't have a response to that yet. But well done, Zoom folks out there. Keep those coming. That's neat. That's a great feature you've added to this, Greg.
That's all Jordan Shue.
Jordan, great job. That's fun.
3rd down. Ballantyne fires. Catch made on the seam to the 30-yard line. That'll be good for a gain of 27 yards. And if it's not Ballantyne, it is often Frankie Ricciardi, the junior from Chicago, his 28th catch of the season and first of the day.
Well, hey, here's the thing. Everyone talks about Robbie Ballantyne for a good reason. Don't get me wrong. But Ricciardi and Lukowski are both really good. I hear the coaches talking about that. Just solid across the board. They don't get enough attention because of Ballantyne, but they're really good, and you can see it in today's game.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. In rolling pocket. Good job to go up and get it and get what you can. Again, Ricciardi makes the play on back-to-back grabs. That one for 6 at 2nd and 4.
Yeah, great grab, and that was not the easiest throw from Scott Ballantyne. It looked like he might have slipped a little bit, still a long throw, able to get plenty on it, but an even better job by Ricciardi to go up.
Are we saying it's so warm that the humidity has caused the turf to be a little bit damp today?
It's
not ice or snow this year, it's humidity. 2nd down and 4. Seeing 3 at the line of scrimmage, then Wabash is walking up numbers 4 and 5. Running into it is Johnson. 1st down, could be more. Johnson, touchdown, no flags. DePauw is in front for the first time today.
Lukowski scored the first touchdown for DePauw, given an assist on the second one. The wide receiver down the field, that seals the score with that block that he had. Watch Lukowski, first of all, great job of the O-line. What a hole right there. But Lukowski right there, that block, that's why this goes for 6 instead of 1st and goal.
And for Carson Johnson, that is his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. And Johnson, a junior, in theory, he's the feature back next year after Whitehead graduates. So Matthew Berry is on for the extra point try. And his kick is good. DePauw 14 and Wabash 7 early 2nd quarter. We'll step aside for 60 seconds. You're watching 131st Monon Bell Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
The community here is something that helped me transition and make me feel at home. I don't get to talk to my family every day because of the time difference and whatnot, but the people here are nothing less than a family to me, and that's something that I value a lot.
Every step of the way, there's a part of the DePauw social experience that allows people to get involved, but also remain involved with the people in their pockets on campus.
DePauw provides lasting connections over and over again, and a lot of places don't have that.
There are many ways to judge the quality of a college or university. At Wabash, we are proud of being nationally ranked in so many measures of quality. The engagement of our students with their faculty, the exceptional classroom experience, the unbeatable internship program and alumni network. It's easy to see how we earn our reputation as one of the best colleges in the country. We are proud of our rankings, but come see for yourself. Schedule a visit today at wabash.edu.
Take a look from field level as Johnson scampers home for his 4th touchdown of the season. I guarantee you his favorite of the season so far.
Yeah, Wabash getting caught, I don't know if it's caught, a little bit in the blitz there. The problem with that is if you can hit a gap, there is no pursuit from the linebackers. Sometimes blitzes can be good against the run, other times they can get you. But nice big 3rd down play to Ricciardi, and then pushing it in for DePauw. So feel the momentum going toward the team in white right now.
Want to thank our tremendous crew. We've referenced our buddy Jordan Shue. How about Dennis Glover, Adam Phipps on graphics, Brant McCoskey, our timeout coordinator and social media guru, Andy Lynch, Brian Pierce, Matt Badiato, Eldon Wheeler, Dylan Lax, Mike McManus, and Nick Seeger on the great drone shots that you have seen throughout the course of today's game. They're the crew behind the scenes that are making Crawfordsville look so completely wonderful on this Saturday. This kick heads out of bounds. So again, outstanding field position about to ensue for Wabash College.
It kicked into the wind, too. It's kind of a cross breeze there, and so not what you want to see, just a miss hit on that kick. And, for Wabash, hey, this is a great starting block to what needs to be an important drive to answer.
Hello to those of you watching in Port St. Lucie, Florida, Denton, Texas, San Francisco, Delafield, Wisconsin. Buddy of mine checked in, front 9 at Crooked Stick. Somebody's watching on a Amtrak bus, they tell me. So wherever you might be watching from, again, go to the ISC Sports Net Twitter feed and click on that Zoom link, and especially you DePauw fans, because the Zoom guy is going to be considered to be biased. We keep showing Wabash fans on.
I tell you what, at Crooked Stick, there's worse places to be. Now, I'd rather be here, but that might be a close second. Great day for golf.
On the handoff, it's Dickerson, and again, that is the teeth of the Wabash College run defense. And after some success running the football in the opening drive, it's kind of stagnated now. 31 yards on 10 carries for Wabash running the football.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I think Wabash was coming into this trying to throw to open up the run a little bit, to try to soften up the defense, getting spread out a little bit. But so you gotta throw in a run every now and then. But, man, that tough teeth of that DePauw defense is tough. Also, the first drive, Wabash keeping them on their heels a little bit with some up tempo.
Fake the jet sweep. Almost the modern option play right there. And again, DePauw was not fooled. Just a gain of 1, 3rd down and 9.
That's that DePauw defense, run defense that we expected, and now just so many things that they can do here on 3rd and 9. They can maybe give that little cushion that they've been giving and see what Wabash comes out with.
Well, they'll give them a little bit more of a generous spot. Make it a gain of 2. Still long at 3rd down and 8. Blitz it coming, and Campbell nowhere to go. Credit Campbell for fighting to try to stay up, but the walls were closing in on him. That was absolutely a committee meeting in the backfield, and they're a trio of sophomore defensive starters for DePauw that all won a state championship at Ben Davis a couple of years ago. Chris Green got home eventually. 3 and out for Wabash.
Chris Green, the nose tackle in there. Great pressure off the edge, though, as well. And then Green, the nose tackle, stepped up, make sure that Campbell could not get away or out of his grasp. And DePauw's defense is really finding its rhythm now.
Where do you just know that they're going to be collapsing that pocket as the day goes on, just because they've done it all year. And it's going to get to Brand eventually. He just needs to get rid of the ball if possible.
On the kick. Outstanding kick. My goodness. Johnson wisely will let that go. You're not even mad about that. That's a 68-yard punt. Still a net of 48 yards after the ball goes out of the back of the end zone. That was a a boomstick level kick. That's up by Brody Rucker.
From your own 10, where you could have bounced and just kept going. And with that wind.
A for the brand moment that time for the punter from Wabash College.
And a good decision there by Johnson. You don't want to be trying to catch that ball over your shoulder, running away. We saw, an issue with a punt last year in the Bell game for Wabash that really helped flip momentum there in the 3rd quarter. So nice job by John to let that go in the end zone, but a great punt when Wabash needed a big play.
Steve, you want to play Google Maps? What are some of the buildings we're looking at here on campus?
Well, the most iconic is the middle left is the chapel, as you can see there with the back of it going right up against the football field. And then you have that's basically the academic circle of campus. It is a small campus.
Hand off to Whitehead. Ball at the 25-yard line for Caden. Picks up a gain of 5 on 1st down.
It's a unique setting here going back to the campus, because you're not on too many places where the football field is backed up right into the academic building, so you're actually part of that. I mean, there are chemistry labs literally 15 yards behind the DePauw fans sitting on the top row right here with Goodrich Hall right behind.
Player is down. One of the defensive linemen that is unfortunately injured for Wabash will stay here. And
Steve, you talk about this setting, and it is beautiful. As a player, I almost enjoyed playing here just as much. Almost enjoyed it just as much.
I knew you couldn't say that.
Not completely, because the setting is beautiful. And look, Blackstock Stadium's great, and it's going to be amazing when they redo that. But it's a little more removed from campus. It's very unique having these buildings here.
Well, let's talk about that. Again, Blackstock will start to be rebuilt in 2026. As far as the Bell game in 2026, it's kind of TBD exactly as to where it's going to be. There's some rumor and conjecture where it may end up, but I'm not sure that's fit for the broadcast just yet. There also is some concern in terms of, hey, are regular season games going to be played on campus? That's kind of unknown as well. But, Brad, that facility started in 1941, and there are parts of it that look very similar to what it did in 1941. But if there is a home playoff game, which is still a possibility for DePauw, that might be the last game in the current iteration of Blackstock Stadium.
Yeah, and it's a great facility. I mean, it's also a beautiful location there, but an amazing construction project that's going to be underway to transform that. Much like the facility we're standing in right now is second to none in Division III. It might be second to one in a year or two. We'll have to see. But these facilities at both these schools, tremendous.
Pariah, again, was the injured player. Zeph Johnson in to replace him on this snap. Valentine will keep. He'll throw, and my goodness, how did he fit that ball in? There was literally a defender within a yard on each side of the receiver for DePauw. First down to Evan Pitzer.
Yeah, I think you draw the defense up to cover it like you did. You had somebody underneath, the corners dropping underneath, safety over the top, and, what a throw. I'm not so sure that was where the coaches would have wanted him to throw the ball, frankly.
Probably not. I was going to say the same thing, Stephen. Pitzer, how about a nice job of kind of turning his body to catch that and maintain it through two guys sandwiching him on that hit.
Pitzer, just his 7th catch of the season for the young man from Northern Kentucky, from Erlanger, Kentucky. Little tight end option here to Samuels. His version of the jet sweep picks up 2 or 3, second down.
Yeah, DePauw mixing a lot of guys in the run game. So we mentioned the quarterback, Valentine, really doesn't run much. So you've seen several guys now carry the ball. And while they haven't had the rushing success that they had a year ago, I mean, White had almost 200 yards in the Bill game. They have seen some holes open already here this afternoon. So I expect them to continue with this balanced attack until Wabash proves they can shut one or the other down.
Yeah, it's been yeoman-like, if you will, for kind of both teams running the football. 46 yards rushing for DePauw, 29 yards for Wabash. 2nd and 8. Out in the flat. Again, Samuels turns it upfield. It's smacked sideways by a Wabash defender. Right around the first down marker where they have marked it. They'll move the chains. Gain of 9. First down, Tigers.
Another just little, simple play out in the flat with room to run and an easy pitch and catch there. We talked about kind of mediocre running the football, starting to have some success. These are almost like passes in lieu of runs, and that's how DePauw is moving the ball.
Let's quickly go to the sidelines. Kelsie Kasper, what do you have for us on Scott Valentine?
Well, guys, the sophomore quarterback making his first start in a Monon Bell game, and he earned this starting position in the offseason, putting in countless hours of work. And head coach Brett Dice said there is no one who loves DePauw football like Scott Valentine does. His passion earned him the starting gig, and he's living up to the expectations here.
And he delivered another outstanding pass to Johnson on the wheel route. Yards are to come in chunks now for the Tigers. Ball at the 18-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what stood out to me looking at Scott's stats. 20 coming into the game.
Right.
He now has 27 touchdown passes to 3 interceptions. That is an unbelievable ratio.
Yeah, you can have all the arm talent and leg talent in the world, but if you turn the ball over, you're not going to play a whole lot, and he's done a really nice job of not turning the ball over, and a nice pass there on a really well-designed play.
Gain of 20 out of the backfield. Whitehead on the handle. And again, you're starting to see, just because you can't cover everything, you're starting to see some more holes open up in the ground game because the passing game is getting on track.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you have these little, plays, starting to get some more chunk plays. You're not calling name Robbie Valentine. It just feels like all of a sudden you're waiting for him to have that big moment here in the red zone.
Well, suddenly the phrase taking what the defense gives you because of Shane Steichen's a lot more popular in this area. Brett Dietz, that's really what his mindset is as well, even though Valentine had 76 catches on the season coming in. 2nd and 5. Whitehead. Good block by Samuels. Good job to stand that up defensively by the Little Giants. It's a gain of 3, maybe 4. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Samuels and Valentine both out there doing a nice job blocking. Looked like that was going to be a first down for Whitehead, and a nice job by the Wabash defense to ensure he couldn't make the sticks.
Sam Ringer basically made that tackle, Steve, through the block.
Yeah, well, that's because we have a Sam linebacker named Sam. I mean, that's got to be a good thing. But, hey, I'm with you, Brad. I thought when he got that, I thought, oh, that's going to be a pretty good gain there. And a lot of pursuit going on there. And I think both teams you see flying to the football. It's a Monon Bell game. Why not?
Sam, an East Central Trojan before becoming a member of the Wabash College Little Giants. 3rd and short, but whistles blow and timeout going to be taken by DePauw. Again, we will keep it right here. Brad, do you think about potentially, if you don't get it here, going forward on 4th down?
I think you do. I mean, look, you're kicking into the wind for one. I don't think that's a huge factor, down here this close to the goal line, unless you get a negative play. Negative play, you probably want to take the points here, but if this goes to 4th and 1, 4th and 2, you got the momentum on offense, I think you try to punch it in or get the first down.
Yeah, I agree. You get all the momentum going right now. Your offense is moving the ball. You got to just tell your guys, we're just going to get this and be done with it, and you move on. And if you don't, like you said, Brad, if you don't get it, it's a 90 yards away from pay dirt for a really, really solid defense to play against the Wabash offense.
First timeout taken by either side in today's game. Thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. It is the 5th year that we have had the honor of bringing this game to you on the ISC Sports Network. Already had folks checking in from Scotland and Switzerland. The Zoom room continues to populate. There I see a Wabash, or I see a DePauw fan. I also see a national champion in his days at Wabash College. Chris Denary, I'm sure, is working on his game notes for tonight's Pacers and Raptors broadcast, and doing so with 8 different colored pens while he is watching the broadcast. Hello, CD. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast today. As a former voice of this game, I hope we're doing Chris proud. Thanks for checking in, Chris.
We need to send Chris some Wabash T-shirts for these Zoom calls.
I don't blame him wearing Pacers gear and supporting the day gig. I understand that completely.
I just hope this means we get to appear on a Pacer broadcast on a Zoom.
Done. 3rd down and short. Fake the jet sweep, pop pass, touchdown Samuels. Well, the tight end has been featured on this drive by DePauw, and the Tigers now have a 2-score lead.
Another really well-designed play coming after a timeout for DePauw right there. You got to think a lot of attention is being placed onto Robbie Ballantyne, and there's Samuels, the tight end. Yep, just slipping right out there. Quick pop pass like you mentioned, Rake. DePauw's offense rolling right now through the air, on the ground. Another perfectly balanced drive.
Well, the first touchdown belonged to Wabash. The last 3, courtesy of the DePauw Tigers. And this extra point try is good. 21-7. All right, if you're Wabash, how do you counter this shift in momentum, Steve?
I think you have to move the chains, because that has not happened since the pick. Since we had the momentum ran through the pick. I'm not saying that changed everything, but the momentum has changed since then. I don't think we may have had 1 first down since then. I'm not sure we have. And I think it's just gaining positive yards and moving the chains and trying to get some points out of it. But you just got to show some success on offense to build that momentum.
Well, Steve, I know that when you were in school here at Wabash, they always wanted to have you have numbers to back up your factual argument, which is correct. The opening drive for Wabash went 70 yards. Since that time, 8 total yards for the Little Giants since that point. And now DePauw, 202 yards of offenses. They seemingly have it going on both sides of the ball.
Well, they really do. And we mentioned, the run. It hadn't been explosive runs, although the touchdown run was a pretty nice one for DePauw. But just, they're kind of nickel and diming their way in the run game. There's some of those quick passes out in the flat, and it's opening up some of the big throws that they have had now down the field. DePauw doing it really in both facets. Now we'll see if their defense can stand back up the way it has the last couple of trips.
And this kick going to hold up just shy of the end zone. Grimes will bring this back. DePauw has him penned in and will steer him out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Tackle for the Tigers made by Nathan Creed, a senior linebacker. By the way, fellas, our broadcast is currently on in a World War II museum in Texas. Thank you, Brian Norris, for putting our game on in the Victory Gallery Theater.
I've heard 2 firsts, the World War II Museum, and I've heard Amtrak train in this broadcast. Someone watching from an Amtrak train, right? So
we like unique on the broadcast.
We do.
I just got a notification as well. This is from close family, as in my mother. It's on Live in the Villages in Florida as well. So a whole crew down there.
Mama Wochomurka, I miss you. Campbell on the throw. Catch made. That's Chase. That's going to be a gain of 8, and that's going to be 2nd down and 2, and it's exactly kind of the front foot that Wabash needs to be on.
Yeah, we just talked to you, move the ball, get some forward momentum, some forward lean, if you will. You got to move the chains, trying to go up-tempo. Up-tempo looks great when you're moving the ball, but not so great when you're not. So just got to get that done.
Campbell doing a great job of scrambling to scan the field. Adams, what a great play by Adams. Just kind of nudged Wagner enough to get him out of the way and pick up a crucial Wabash first down.
And a great throw by Brain. He didn't underthrow that unintentionally. That was on purpose to underthrow it because he saw the back of the receiver. They teach that and coach it, and that back shoulder throw.
That is a gain of 30 yards for Campbell and a first down for Wabash. Here's Chase again. Could not hang on to it. With 2nd down.
Campbell's been really good rolling out or maybe forced out of the pocket, and I actually wondered if we might see him do that more on design after those last few drives did not go anywhere with him in the pocket. And right there you see what he can sort of do with his legs. He doesn't commit to the run too early either. I really like that he holds the ball, looks for what he has downfield, and that led to that big play.
Yeah, he looked so comfortable getting out of the pocket, and the coaches know that, but like they always say, but we don't want that to happen all game. We want him standing in there and making the throws.
Wabash has to get a extra player off the field in time. That's part of the reason for the holdup on this play. Play clock down to 6.
Yeah, they had to give the defense time to sub.
Correct. Handoff goes to Tyler. Good job by the Wabash offensive line to kind of set the wall. Tyler picks up 4, and again, you would think you're looking at 2 downs to pick up 6 yards here.
Oh, I think so. We need to get some momentum going on the Wabash side of things. Let me mention Xavier Tyler a little bit. He has now moved into the top 10 in career rushing yards at Wabash. We haven't talked about that much today, but he just needed 6 yards to move into the top 10.
Great point. Campbell again trying to find a way out, and it won't happen. For the 2nd time, it's Chris Green. We mentioned that Ben Davis trio. He, Nehemiah Dow, and Tariq Jima Oyashigi that are all getting starts as sophomores from Ben Davis. It's a loss, and it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, Coach Dietz is going to be happy with the play of his young sophomores on defense, and they're going to be here for a while. But the 2nd sack and a crucial 3rd down right there.
Well, I said 3rd down. My apologies. 4th down, and obviously now that it's 4th and 14, the thoughts of going forward on 4th down go by the wayside. Now you try to pin DePauw deep. You know, these games often have numerous momentum shifts. This one's had 1 so far. Fair catch made by Johnson, and again, if you're playing the field position swap game, that's outstanding for Wabash. Ball pinned back at the 6-yard line after a 38-yard punt. But Brad, it is before interception and after interception is how this game has played out so far.
It really has. I mean, the DePauw offense did nothing early. Wabash with the score and then starting to move, and then that interception, huge. And now 21 straight points for the Tigers. This is a really crucial spot here for both teams, but arguably for the Wabash defense, because Wabash got the ball first. DePauw can roll off a few first downs right here. Not only are they a threat to score some more points, they get the ball to start the 2nd half, but starting on their own 5, if Wabash can stop them right here, plenty of time to go in and add points yourself.
You want to say hello to Bill Fenlon in Tampa, who's watching the broadcast today?
Hey, look, everybody in Florida is liking this. Legendary Tiger basketball coach. Good to see Coach Fenlon down there.
And member of the ISC Sports Network family as well. Again, Samuels, and that kind of motion out of the backfield really proving successful for DePauw in the short passing game.
It really has. They've had several of those to different receivers and running backs out of the backfield. And that's the big one right there, because now you're not within your own 10. You've moved the sticks. You got the chain, or you got the clock running a little bit. That's a huge pickup on 1st down.
Gain of 14. We'll kick it down to Kelsie Kasper after this play. Now 11 first downs for DePauw. Valentine 11 for 16, 159 and 2 touchdowns. Little clock management here from DePauw as well, trying to end the half with the ball in their possession because they get it to start quarter number 3. Play clock at 1, snap back. Valentine to Valentine, just shy of a first down, 2nd and 1. Kelsie, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, listening in on the sidelines, Wabash head coach Jake Gilbert was talking with his defense and told his group, we have to get out there and play with more energy. The same energy we started this game with when we forced DePauw into a 3-and-out in the opening drive. They have given up points on every drive since then. He's trying to rally his guys, provide more energy on this side of the ball.
At 7-7, Steve, it's kind of what we thought we'd see in the first quarter. Since that time, it's been all DePauw. That's not what we expected in this game.
It's been all DePauw, and I hope that's just not a harbinger of things to come for the second half for Wabash. You got to get that momentum turned around.
I thought Ballantyne was a yard short. Clearly, I was wrong. They gave him the first down after a 10-yard pickup. And then Scott, who, again, will run when he has to, but not a lot of design runs for him. He'll pick up a gain of 4. Again, the Ballantynes played at Andrean High School, who got a win winning at nearby Southmont last night in the regional round of the tournament. The 59ers are on to the semi-state next week, as we hope Steve Hoffman is as a referee after he was working up at Penn High School last night. The late night has not affected his sharpness and wit on the broadcast, that's for sure. Johnson on the handoff, nowhere to go. That time, Wabash got home. That's William Harris that makes the play.
I can do one day on a little sleep. I can't do 2
so
days.
We're not coming back and doing a broadcast tomorrow? Okay, got you.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I get a bye with the Colts tomorrow as well, so I'm with you on that front.
Gotcha.
Third down.
You know, both teams were in top 20 in the country in third down efficiency on defense today, but lately DePauw's had their way on third down.
DePauw is 5 of 6, and they've converted their last 5. Ballantyne steps up and finds Johnson and gets enough for the first down. Again, Brad, I'll go back to what Coach Dietz said when we talked this week. Just take what the defense gives you. It's not been the deep ball for the most part. It's just been the underneath stuff, and it's been enough to keep the chains moving.
It absolutely has. You'll see Ballantyne here even slipping, able to just get that ball. It might have even got tipped, come out of his hand a little bit funny. And the running backs have been huge. Johnson especially catching the ball out of the backfield as a safety valve. That's a big first down.
DePauw does not have to snap this. They can go to the 2-minute timeout if they want to, and it looks like that's exactly what they are going to do. So with a 2-minute timeout, we will take the 2-minute timeout. Back to Crawfordsville in 60 seconds. Tigers 21, Little Giants 7. You're watching 131st Monon Bell Classic, and you're doing so on the ISC Sports Network.
Whenever I've been challenged, there is something really good waiting around that corner. When I've been challenged to put in more effort on the athletic field or put in more hours to read or to study for a really hard exam, I see good results because I was challenged. My freshman year, I was challenged in every aspect, but I came back even stronger because of those challenges. To me, challenges are what make life fun.
You know, at DePauw, you're not just on the soccer team, you're not just in a sorority. I'm not just a college student, I'm a college student embedded in all of these different activities around campus.
Being at DePauw has taught me that I'm always going to be curious and I'm always going to want to learn more. And I think that's a really wonderful curiosity that I've developed through DePauw.
I think that's kind of everything at DePauw. Once you get in the door somewhere, you want to keep going with everything that you do here.
Bit of a speed bump to start this game for DePauw. Wabash took the opening drive, took it 78 yards, and scored to take the lead. DePauw went 3 and out on their opening drive. But an interception on the second drive by Wabash has lit a spark under the Tigers, and they have carried that flame with them the rest of this game so far. 21-7 they lead. Greg Rakestraw, Steve Hoffman, Brad Wochomurka, and all of these folks cheering on Wabash and DePauw from Switzerland, Scotland, Westfield, all across the globe. Ballantyne throws, and that's to Lekowski. Kind of a double slant in. Lekowski makes the grab. Just a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down and 6.
Just keep it moving. DePauw does have 2 timeouts, though. Probably will start to have to operate with a little bit of urgency after this play, depending on what happens.
And DePauw with 2 timeouts remaining. They seem content to drain every bit of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit surprised they're taking this much time. It's not, maybe if the wind was at their back, but you're kicking to the wind if you try to kick a field goal. But I'd have been thinking touchdown here. I'm sure they still are.
They sling it. Lekowski again. Back-to-back catches. Sent flying by Gavin Rupert. We haven't had a chance to talk about Gavin yet. Gavin will finish as one of the all-time leading tacklers, top 5, and that for Wabash. And Jake Gilbert called Gavin one of the smartest football players he's ever been around.
Wow, what does that say? So, Gavin, yeah, as you said, Gavin, number 5 on the all-time Wabash career tackles list, has a chance to get into the number 4 slot, but not this game, but maybe the next couple weeks. But, yeah, he is something, and what a solid kid he is.
Greenwood High School for Gavin. So 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Johnson, and Johnson plows forward, picks up 4, and again, DePauw has 2 timeouts in their bag, and sometimes things can be said without being said. As I look over at Brad Wochomurka, I see the universal sign for, hey, let's get going here, boys. Let's move this thing along.
Yeah, I think if they had 3, that'd be one thing, but, I always like having a timeout. Something goes wrong, you have a sack, you hate to have to burn one for something like that.
Ballantyne steps up. He'll run. He'll get the – nope. Let's see where – he started to slide about a yard short. If he dives forward, he has it because he went to that baseball slide. Yep. It's where you start the slide. So it's 3rd and a yard. By the way, good to see Pariah going back in the game, who was hurt earlier for Wabash College. 3rd and a yard, Johnson 1st down. That will stop the clock momentarily. So as he gets to the 26-yard line, clock has 26 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Brad, I feel like you do, and I see this a lot, but it usually works out for the teams. I was like, well, we're taking a lot, taking our sweet time out at midfield. I'm like you. It's like you were feeling like, let's go, let's get down. You'd feel better if they were doing that being on the 10 or 15-yard line.
The thing for me is if this plays out and you get down to 10 seconds, maybe at the 15, you maybe start forcing it a little bit. Like, oh, we got to go. Now we got to throw a ball. Maybe we wouldn't throw if we had an extra timeout, if we had a little more time on the clock. We'll see how this ends up working out. The ball's still in a great position right here, but I would probably like a few more seconds on the clock than we've got.
Ball at the 26-yard line. Quick check at some of the individual stats. What a debut performance for Scott Ballantyne. 15 for 20, 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. DePauw running the ball has been solid, not spectacular, but exactly what they need. 17 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Peyton Samuels, the leading receiver. Again, part of the story here for DePauw, Brad, is that Ballantyne has not had to be extraordinary today, as in Robbie. He's got 2 catches for 24 yards.
Yeah, it speaks to the depth and the weapons, taking what the defense gives you, all that we've said. I think that's maybe what makes Ballantyne that special, the fact that he has the numbers he does on a team that is this deep offensively. There are other weapons, and they're really good, and we're seeing that this afternoon.
So 1 timeout remaining. Barry is the place kicker, and you're probably right at the edge of field goal range for him. A field goal here would make it a 3-score lead going to the break. Ballantyne fires. Ricciardi elects to cut it up the field and does he get the 1st down?
See, that's
they're going to give it to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the fact that he made the 16 makes that an okay decision. You're right.
Yeah, but that's the type of kind of little error you might not think of.
Now, there's some confusion, I think, between the chain gang, but we play on. And Ballantyne just realizes, you know what? I don't like what I've got here now. Was he out of the pocket? Could that be a flag for intentional grounding? There was not a receiver in the area, or was there? The conversation's taking place right now. Flag going to drop. Yep.
I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I think so, Brett.
So, great explanation. Down to 10 seconds left to go in the half. Ball is backed up to the 21-yard line. And it would not surprise me if almost thinking about going for the field goal right here. Just to ensure you've got time to get everything underway. You do have 1 timeout. Steve, is there a runoff involved with this call at all?
I'm not the one to ask about college rules. I apologize about that.
You're the one to ask about Friday rules. I respect that.
Yeah. I will say on, this is going to be moved to the 26. Even, a field goal from there is going to be a 43-yarder into the wind, not a chip shot. But you're right with
So the ball will take the runoff. Will take the timeout. Again, the ball is at the 21-yard line, but it should be moved back. Yeah, the common phrase I use on Friday night, Steve, is the Friday rules and the Saturday rules and the Sunday rules are 3 different sets of rules.
Yes.
In terms of things changing. For example, I had a high school football game 2 weeks ago between LC and LN. where the winning play was a fumble recovery in the end zone with no time left on the clock. That's a legal play in high school football, not the case in college or pro football. So,
and it's amazing the fans we see know all those rules changes, Greg. They really understand them. I'm joking.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that was a tongue-in-cheek comment that was made.
Yeah, we hear. Yeah, and that doesn't always come over the air very well. We hear some, a lot of college things mentioned, a lot of NFL rules mentioned and thrown out to us on Friday nights, but that's fine.
Want to give a nod to someone that has given so much back to his university and this rivalry game. Hello, Ken Owen. Thank you for checking in. Thanks for enjoying the broadcast today. And if we're doing right on your watch, then we're doing this right. Thank you, Ken. Glad you're enjoying the coverage today.
Yeah, Ken was such a huge part of this game for so many years, and I'm not sure there's anyone out there that loves this game, this rivalry, as much as Ken does, and a big asset to the DePauw school, team, media folks like us for years and years. A good friend and a great guy.
So the ball is at the 21-yard line, so it'll stay. And again, DePauw is going to run an offensive play. They have to either throw it away or get it out of bounds quickly. They will not have time to run another play, so it has to be out of bounds or to the end zone. Throwing for the end zone. Lukowski, he's got it. Touchdown Tigers. Forget the 3. They'll take all 7. And it's a 3-score lead for DePauw with 5 seconds to go before halftime.
Take away everything I said about timeouts, clock management, all of that. Brett Dietz knew what he was doing. And you know what? That's just let's let our athletes go out-athlete your athletes. And that's what that was. I mean, a nice and designed play to kind of box him out, or job to box out and get open by Lukowski. What a game this kid's having.
13-play, 93-yard drive for the Tigers. And they have now scored 27, make it 28 unanswered points. And, of all the possible permutations of this year's Bell game, a team having a 21-point lead at halftime was not on our bingo card.
Yeah, some you just don't know what to expect in these games sometimes. Look at Lukowski. I mean, really just good position, great position, able to go up and secure that football and bring it down. That's a tough play and a huge play. How about this kid? 2 touchdowns. I'll give him credit for the rushing touchdown, too, on the block he had downfield. What a first half for Lukowski.
Yeah, and that's another one. I'm not so sure the coaches would be in favor of making that throw. If you're Wabash just trying to knock it away, if you get a pick, then there's no points. If you get just a knockdown, then it's a long field goal into the wind. But Lukowski making the quarterback look good on that one.
I almost wonder, going into the win, the strategy was we're going to do that twice. That's the only reason maybe he made that throw. So we're going to come out and try it once. If it doesn't work, we may just throw it in the end zone again. And the field goal was maybe off the table.
Yeah, because the timing of that score, that's a dagger to Wabash. Wabash can recover from it and has to recover from it. But going into half with that last play, that's a tough one.
So we'll see exactly how Gomez handles this one. You kind of squib this one down and just go with your normal kick. The answer is the former, not the latter. Picked up and a knee is taken. So Wabash, in theory, has one crack at this from their own 21-yard line. But again, what a change of events from the interception thrown early. Everything has tilted the way of the Tigers. And that tremendous look from edge of campus. Great athletic facilities in this part of the Wabash College footprint. There's a look at Lukowski's touchdown grab, his second score of the day. Wabash a 3-score lead, and unless there is a comeback from Wabash in half number 2, DePauw not guaranteed but likely to play in the Division III playoffs for a 5th consecutive year. That is 5 of 7 postseason trips in program history. But there is 30 minutes for that to change from the Wabash perspective. But every bit of emotion, every bit of momentum is on the side of the visitors here. DePauw having a 28-7 lead. Brett Dietz is making his way to Kelsie Kasper on the far side. Let's talk about what was a wonderful final 20 minutes of the half. Kelsie, go ahead.
Coach, your team went 3 and out on its opening drive, but since then, you scored on every single possession, including in the last 10 seconds. What early adjustments did your quarterback and offense make?
We were having some communication issues with our headsets and stuff, so that was part of the issue, but we got that figured out, I think, now. But this team is different than last year. It's different than 2 years. We can take punches and punch back. And I wasn't sure about last year because we were taking care of business. And this team is ready. It's gritty. We're gritty. And so we're ready for punches and we're ready to keep going. So now we got to regather at halftime and not let them back into this football game. We got to stay as aggressive and as potent as we were after those first 2 drives.
And on the flip side, your defense, holding Wabash scoreless after they put 7 on the opening drive. What's impressed you on that side of the ball?
We've been bend but not break all year, right? And we're going to give up some passes and some first downs, but we're still pretty stingy on the run. We got to remain like that. We got to keep rallying. We got to get to the quarterback. Quarterback's good. They're potent, right? This is almost the exact same situation that Wabash had at John Carroll, and they came crawling all the way back and almost won that game. So we're gritty. We know that they're gonna keep playing, and we know we got a battle in the second half. I'm just glad we got a lead.
You got the ball first in the second half. What are you telling your guys in the locker room?
Stay gritty. Stay right there. Never too high, never too low. Go get your bell.
Thanks, Coach.
Kelsie, great job. We'll hear from Kelsie with Jake Gilbert coming up at the end of halftime. Some numbers to kind of back up what Coach Dietz was talking about. The DePauw run defense has allowed 15 carries for 24 yards, a couple of sacks that are matched in there as well. And again, since that opening drive of 78 yards for Wabash, 41 total yards of offense since that time. Obviously, our primary objective here is to televise a football game, and we're very proud of the job that we do in doing it. But the other element, and maybe even the more important element of this game, is to tell you more about these 2 amazing campuses. It takes 2 tremendous institutions of higher learning to have the passion to put on a game such as this. So we use part of our halftime to tell you more of the stories of these 2 great schools. Let's start first with more on DePauw University.
Coming to DePauw, a huge part of my decision was to play in the Monon Bell rivalry. It's a truly special game to play in that's gone on for so many years. The passion and the rivalry, see all the fans in the community and the students come together is a really special thing. This year we know that the Monon Bell is more important than ever, so the team is really ready to compete and hopefully show that we are playoff worthy and that we can take the bell home again.
DePauw is more than a place. It's a collection of moments that shape who we are. The traditions, the friendships, the experiences. Each moment on this campus has stayed with you.
I was talking to a fraternity brother of mine, and he asked me a question. He said, what are the 3 things you remember most about DePauw? I said, the education, the people that I met and are still my lifelong friends, and the opportunity I had to change my life.
It's the people who make DePauw special, and that remains a cornerstone of the campus today. They are the bridge to what is next, entering the world beyond campus gates, supported by the knowledge and experiences gained here.
It's never the last time you're at DePauw. You'll always be back, and I get chills thinking about it because I know this won't be my last time, and I know that I'm coming back for these people and these places and these memories that I have.
DePauw gave us the space to explore, to grow, and to learn beyond the classroom.
And DePauw students are known for being well over-invested in their time and commitments, and yet somehow they find a way to do all of it. There's a hunger that we get that starts here.
The drive that defined your time on campus, the will to do more, to be more, to lead the charge, now extends to the boardroom. Transformative research, innovation, strategic investment, instruction, and more. DePauw is driving forward to exceed both need and expectation, ensuring we continue to develop leaders the world needs. Reflected in the Bold and Gold strategic plan, and powered by $200 million in donor investments, we've launched both the School of Business and Leadership and the Creative School to sit side by side with the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, the foundation of our liberal arts commitment. There's so much more ahead in DePauw's story, and we can't wait to write the next chapter with you.
So that is more on DePauw University. But again, this is always about fair play in a situation like this, right? So we're going to tell you more about DePauw. We're going to tell you about the home team in today's game as well. You get this wonderful view of Wabash College. Let's take an extended feature view at life at Wabash.
I believe completely in the tradition of Wabash. We're willing to do whatever it takes, whenever it takes, for as long as it takes to be successful. I think we can win a national championship here.
I knew Wabash had a huge tradition of great people, great students, great alums, great following. And after talking with Jake in the vision that he had with the football program and how we were wanting to grow as people and grow as coaches and grow our team, that really got me fired up.
The reason that I wanted Jake to be our head football coach was his record of building community.
That's the best part of Wabash football, is being part of something bigger than yourself.
I think Wabash is a leadership factory. It's just being a Wabash student in and of itself grants opportunities to lead personally, lead others. And then in football, we just want to enhance that all the more. We want to be leaders on campus. We want to be leaders in the community.
Jake is certainly making the football program much bigger than the football season. The growth of the program is much larger than the growth in the wins and losses.
We played high school football together. I kind of grown up in my formative years with Jake in my vicinity. What's particularly impressive about Jake is his approach is very programmatic, very others-oriented, and certainly, as we know, Jake's no pushovers. He's going to lead the way, and he's going to carry others with him.
You have a head coach that is very student-oriented. The outwork, outlove is our motto. Basically, hey, nobody's going to outwork us, and we're going to make sure that we love one another and show love on campus and be leaders.
Coach Gilbert is going to be both their fiercest advocate and the person who pushes them hardest. Jake cares a lot about his student athletes' development and success.
This is really a brotherhood. We are really looking for people who love themselves, and they're going to love their teammates and their classmates, and they're going to love what they do here. They're going to love playing football, and they're going to love Wabash College.
He really wants to give power to his players. Enabling that is as much of the important part of his role as the leader of this team.
It's kind of been incredible through his career to see how he's kept that front and center, kind of the impact on students. And I think as we're quickly seeing that impact extends well beyond the game of football and his focus on impacting people's lives. I'm so excited about the impact that he's going to have on our student body.
The common thread between what's happening in the classroom and what's happening on the football field is probably mentorship, which is an important part of teaching. I think that the football staff every day is trying to teach these guys how to be better men. And I think that's really an important component of their Wabash education. They are getting a combination of mentorship and skill development.
I'm constantly proud of the effort that our guys put into making themselves better, making our team better, making this campus better.
I'm proud of the steps I've taken as a leader, but I'm proud of how many people I've impacted along the way. I do feel like I'm a part of something special.
This is the best school on earth. I believe that with everything in me. A place of brotherhood, a place of culture, a place of tradition. And I think Wabash College opened my eyes. Coming here will allow you to do anything you want.
I've grown tremendously as a coach. I've grown tremendously as a person, and largely because of what Coach Gilbert has instilled in this program and what we've been teaching.
One of the things that Jake brought here was a commitment to making Wabash College better, and we're really lucky to have him.
Wabash is a school for people who are serious about reaching their full potential. So if you really want to be challenged, you really want to reach your goals, you really want to take the road less traveled, if you're the kind of person that wouldn't have it any other way, then we're your place.
Back at halftime at Wabash College, Greg Rakestraw, Steve Hoffman, Brad Wochomurka rejoin in a matter of moments. It is 70 degrees currently on November the 15th. It is quite warm for this time of year. The offense took a while to get hot for DePauw, but it got there. Tigers lead it by a score of 28-7. Let's show you how we got here with a quick look at our first half highlights. Again, it was Wabash getting the ball first and immediately moving the ball down the field. A 78-yard scoring drive. Brand Campbell was not needed. Again, if you watched Carmel Westfield at ISC last week, You saw this same play work with similar results. Tyler gets the direct snap. 7-0 lead, however. On the next Wabash drive, the interception, and that seemed just to kind of jolt DePauw back to life. Immediately, they score. Leighton Lukowski, we'll call his name again, second consecutive year where he has a receiving touchdown in the Bell game. The running game was solid on the first drive for Wabash. It's slowed since that time. Here, Carson Johnson finds the end zone, fourth rushing touchdown of the season. Chris Green has not one but 2 sacks on today's game. Johnson out of the backfield will route for 20 yards. DePauw would keep the offense churning. Now, Wabash has, well, done what they have done, continued to fight. However, Lukowski gets the jump ball here. That comes with 5 seconds left to go before halftime, and well, even building the pyramid has been a bit of a struggle at times for Wabash in half number 1. Again, our score at the break, 28-7 in favor of the Tigers. We'll get Steve Hoffman back on in a matter of moments. Brad Wochomurka will jump in and have a seat. We'll go over some individual stats in a matter of moments. But clearly, Brad, as the DePauw guy in the broadcast, you're loving life right now with this score. Your thoughts on how your team turned it on as the half really kind of got going.
I thought what Coach Dietz told Kelsie there at halftime was really, really interesting because DePauw's team last year, by every measure, maybe even talent, probably better. Not by much, but better than this year's iteration.
That's fair.
But they really weren't challenged at all. I mean, they even ran through the first round of the Division III playoffs. It wasn't until that second Classic game that they lost that, they really were up against it. And so to have that adversity that they had this year against John Carroll, there were a couple times in some other games, and then to take that punch early from Wabash here, this team has had to be resilient at times, unlike last year's iteration. So I thought that was a really interesting point from Coach Dietz. It's just balanced attack. It's not the Robbie Ballantyne show. In fact, he's not even showing up on the leaderboard page of the stat sheet we just got from Brent Harris here at Wabash. It's Lukowski, it's Samuels, it's Johnson, it's Ricciardi, Ballantyne with a couple of catches. But again, able to spread it out, able to get to run the football effectively when they needed to run the football. And then that defense, just once you had the interception, everything turned there. It seemed like Wabash was much more 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 than they were early.
We should not be overly surprised that DePauw's got 28 on the board because, again, they've basically scored at least 27 points in every game. They scored 75 in 48 minutes against Oberlin, put up 59 against Worcester last week. But again, given the level of competition, to have 295 yards of offense against Wabash at their turf in a rivalry game, that really catches your attention.
Yeah, it really does. And the fact that, Wabash, after that first drive, about 5.5 minutes, only had the ball roughly, 7 minutes after that for the remainder of the half. DePauw really controlling the ball. They'll get the ball to start the second half. I think for Wabash, we talked about it a little bit with Steve, too, about having Campbell maybe try to roll out. They're also going to have to go back down the field more than we've probably seen and get more aggressive. So the question is, can they give Campbell time to throw the ball down the field? When he's been in the pocket, he has been under duress so far.
There can always, with Jake Gilbert being an emotional, fiery speech, you expect that in terms of a rivalry game. But from an X's and O's standpoint, Steve, what has to change for the Little Giants?
I think Brain needs to get the ball out a little bit on the timing routes when he can, because he does have time to throw them on time. I think he's holding it a little bit more, and then the play just deteriorates from there. That big sack when had some chance to get some points late. We thought we were in 4th down territory. Really pushed us out of it on trying to get rid of the ball when he can. We heard the sideline report on our defense. Just kind of losing their fire a little bit, and that's where Jake Gilbert can really come into play and try to get those guys going a little bit. Need some big plays, though. I don't think we're going to consistently win up front. I think that's where we're losing the battle right now. But I think you get a big tip pass for a touch or an interception, maybe a block kick, which Wabash has been doing this year. But to get a block kick, you got to get them to even punt the ball, and so you got to get some 3rd down stops. And Wabash has been so good this year on 3rd downs, 10th in the country in 3rd downs. But now I think DePauw is 7 of 8 today on 3rd down. So I think it has to start there as well.
Before we go on to third quarter action, we wanted to reference a couple of wonderful coaches that have been a part of this rivalry game. We want to start with the home side in Wabash College. Greg Carlson was a part of this game for nearly 2 decades as the head coach at Wabash College. I know health-wise, Steve, he is really facing a challenge right now. The floor is yours. What do you want to say about a coach, a mentor, and a friend?
Yeah, what can I not say about Greg Carlson? You know, he was such a big part of my life. His first year as head coach in 1983 was my first year as a starter at quarterback, and I only say that because the quarterback and the head coach have a special relationship. So we had 2 years of that together. Then I came back and coached for him as an assistant for another 6 years. So I got to. He was one who hired me back at Wabash. I told him the other day when I went out to visit him. You know, he hired me in 1991. I haven't left since, and it was him who got me back here. And yeah, so just a lot of prayers for Coach Carlson. He's such a professional. That's what I learned from him as an assistant coach under his program. He's just runs such a good program, or ran such a good program from a professional standpoint, and doing things the right way and being above board. And I know, you know, his competition with Coach Morosis, those guys have to have been coaches against each other for longer than any other tandem in the history of the Bell, I would assume. I mean, Coach Carlson was here 18 years, and all 18 Coach Nick was also the head coach of DePauw. So what two giants, and you know, Coach Carlson means a lot, as you can tell in my life, and you know, just so like I said, big prayers for him, and I owe him a lot.
And again, Greg has done so many things to touch so many lives, obviously yours being one included, but in terms of just a pure football standpoint, a wonderful job of setting the stage for the success. Really, as Wabash transitioned to the NCAC was right as Greg was kind of ending his tenure. That led to Chris Creighton. That led to Eric Rayburn. That led to Don Morrell. That now leads to Jake Gilbert. And again, it has been a wonderful run for Wabash College football. It really kind of got the groundswell of that going in Greg Carlson's tenure. And, of course, Steve mentioned Coach Nick, Coach Morosis, and the two words that are often associated with Coach Nick, Tiger Pride. He would work it in to every conversation. And I know Nick, looking down from above, has to be so amazingly proud of what DePauw football is now under Brett Dietz.
Oh, absolutely. He would be loving this. He'd be loving this, baby. That's how he'd say it, and say, you know, this many Monon Bells in a row, the success that this program has had, but he's really the one that built it. That's why the field at Blackstock bears his name. You know, I'll never forget Coach Nick, when I played, I'd never played football in my life. I walk into his office junior year or sophomore year at DePauw in the spring, nervous as all get out, thinking, why am I meeting with a college football coach to figure out if I can actually play on his team? He'll even let me. And he spent 20 minutes just talking to me about who I am, what I like, why do I want to play football, getting to know me as a person. We had a great conversation. He said, all right, spring workouts start Tuesday, come on out. I mean, just inviting, just warm, and told me, hey, come be a part of this, be a part of this family. And that's what he built at DePauw. It was really a family of Tiger football. That was his wife, Marilyn. You talk about family. She was a part of that team as much as he was. Players, everyone loving her as much as they loved Coach Nick. She passed a few years ago too, but both Nick and Marilyn Morosis, such key figures in DePauw football history and a key part of this rivalry. And like you said, Ray, he absolutely would be thrilled looking down and seeing not only the DePauw leading on the scoreboard, but just what this rival has continued to be and is with all of the people on these great campuses and facilities.
And again, the stories that we tell of coaches that are going through a health struggle or coaches that are no longer with us, we talk about those gentlemen because those are the ones you have seen on the sidelines. They have been the leaders of young men. But we know as this game reaches out and touches so many families and generations that you might be watching this game thinking about, you know, your father or grandfather that went to Wabash College, or your mom or grandmother, grandfather, father, etc., members that are no longer with us that went to either of these two schools. We understand. We try to understand as best we can the passion that is in this rivalry, and again, we hope that translates on the telecast to you. Jake Gilbert is now standing by with Kelsie Kasper. Kelsie, go ahead.
Well, Coach, you guys were able to score on your opening drive, but since then haven't been able to find the end zone. How do you get that offensive rhythm back in the second half?
Yeah, the tempo helped us a little bit. I mean, we dropped the pass, unfortunately got sacked. I mean, we've just kind of gotten beat. We're gonna make plays. They're making plays. We're not. So obviously the quick passing game was really effective first drive. We're going to get back to that. Then some timely runs when they're available.
You told me earlier this week this group is mentally tougher this year. What did you say in the locker room to rally this guys for a comeback in the second half?
Well, be who we say we are. You know, I mean, if Wabash always fights, then let's see it. So be who we say we are, and let's see how much courage and heart we have right now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It comes down to as simple as the 3-word, 3-letter acronym that is associated with this school. Wabash always fights. We'll see that for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I've heard him tell the team, he goes, hey, we say Wabash always fights. What do we mean? We mean it. If not, then get out of this room. So we that's what we say. Let's do it. And, yeah, he's really good. Like I said earlier, building young men, talking about them becoming better men and becoming men of character in this. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. If anybody can get him going, I think Coach Gilbert can.
And, Brad, I know it's unique, let's face it, especially in the broadcast booth. We tend to be maybe more respectful of those on both sides. But your unique connection, again, you obviously played and went to DePauw University, but you're a Westfield dad. You know Jake Gilbert very well.
I mean, I learned everything I know about youth football and coaching that, but obviously being a part of that Westfield program, he built it. And getting to know Jake and learn from him in that capacity as a leader of younger men and coaching youth football, he's amazing.
And your son Blake is behind us, and I loved watching him watch the pregame warm-ups go, Dad, that's Westfield's drill. Hey, Dad, that's Westfield's drill. Yes, Jake Gilbert is the guy behind both of those. So, yes, a Westfield practice looks a lot like a Wabash practice. And let's acknowledge the fact that Jake's been busy these last few Friday nights watching his son continue to win as Westfield is in the semi-state coming up next week.
Yeah, he's got a lot of football going on in his life, and he sure built something there, I tell you. Like they are one of the teams to beat every year now, and he built that, and people like you, Brad, coaching that youth league, have built that as well, and those are big positions. So thank you for your time doing that.
Oh, absolutely. I just try not to get too riled up over fourth grade football.
That's a lesson everybody should learn.
Yeah.
This to the end zone, and DePauw will elect to bring it out. And ball is loose. I don't think it's recovered in play. I don't think it's in play. I think DePauw is going to maintain possession, I think. No official signal just yet. My goodness, if that's recovered by Wabash, that's exactly what's needed to happen. Waiting for a signal.
That's close.
Out of bounds. Out of bounds is the termination.
Oh, but you talk about the momentum coming out of the locker. I mean, Coach Dietz said we know Wabash will have the energy, have the ability to come back and fight through that. And right there, first play, they're ready to go.
Yeah, and you could see him come down with the hammer and trying to knock that ball away, got it done. And, I'm not so sure he didn't quite get possession before he went out. But, look, I'm backing up officials all the time. That official's standing right there. He gets one look at live ball. There's no replays here in this game, and so that's a tough.
Alex Hoover.
One person in the stadium's going to make that call.
Yeah, and you know what? His back shielded it from the official. I think from that view, I think he did recover that in bounds.
So, DePauw dodges a bullet. Handoff goes to Whitehead, and again, this can be a very explosive offense, but Brad, 4 or 5 yards a touch would be a thing of beauty right now for the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, it's way too early to go into, game management and clock killing mode, but by doing that 4 or 5 yards, like you said, Rake, try to set up that big play. I mean, look, DePauw, just do what you've been doing, and you're going to be fine.
So 2nd down and 5. And Johnson has been every bit the featured back that Whitehead. Whitehead's been dealing with an injury as well. He's a little limited today. Ballantyne again, the C's part. He'll have the first down, and this time slides well past the first down marker. They'll say 4 minutes stop to the 24-yard line. A gain of 8 into DePauw, first down, their 18th of the game.
That's a few times. Ballantyne has just taken what the defense has given him. He's getting good protection. That helps. So he has time to scan his reads. It's not there. That usually means things open up in the middle of the field. That's what he took there for a first down. Really good coverage, but also really good protection up front by DePauw to allow that to develop and happen.
DePauw perhaps already trying to shorten this game a little bit. Hand off to Whitehead, and again, Whitehead met by Pariah, but it's still 7 yards a touch. Let's make sure we give credit where it's due. The men up front for DePauw. Nick Ruiz at left tackle, Bennett Smith at left guard, Zach Kerr at center. He already mentioned the size of Rylan Watkins at right guard, and Aiden Bunton, the sophomore tackle. And Brad, like almost all areas of this DePauw team, they've all dealt with injuries during the course of the year, and that's a pretty young offensive line that Coach Dietz is playing this year.
Yeah, it really is. So bodes well for the future, but it's boding just fine right now for the Tigers up front.
2nd and 3.
Running behind the little guys at 270.
Yeah.
Again, the handoff to Johnson. Johnson plows forward, and that's just sheer effort. Needed 3, got 4. First down, Tigers.
Well, again, credit to that offensive line at DePauw and Johnson for keeping the legs moving. That looked like that was going nowhere, and a big first down for DePauw.
Yeah, and that's one thing Wabash can't allow now is DePauw to be able to run successfully. And I think the reason DePauw would do that, not only for a time thing, but just it's a safer thing than putting the ball up in the air.
Blitz coming. Ballantyne reads. Catch made. Right around the first down marker. And that is Robbie Ballantyne on the catch. A gain of 9. And Brad, this was talked about at halftime. We just haven't had a chance to talk about this in the broadcast. And Wabash fans, trust me, you know what this award is about. Robbie is the only Division III finalist for the Campbell Trophy. That is the academic Heisman. He is one of 16 finalists in the nation. In other words, every bit as good of as a wide receiver as he is, he's that good of a student at DePauw University as well.
Yeah, it's incredible. And Coach Dietz said best athlete on the team and best student on the team, highest GPA on the team as well. So what an honor for him. And that's, like you said, across all levels of college football. And you got to be good on the field, too, to even get the recognition for the award.
And as Johnson gets the first down for DePauw, of course, 2 years ago, Liam Thompson had that recognition from Wabash College.
And he had a great experience going after that banquet, as will Robbie, when he does it. You know, you win or lose the award. But I saw Liam earlier today, and, you know, once these guys are involved in this game, Brad understands this, like they are in it. And
you're never not involved.
They'll come back. They'll come back every year they can.
So the opening drive of the first half belonged to Wabash and went 78 yards. DePauw is trying to replicate that here. Gain of 3, and Brad, they have already shaved 4 minutes off the game clock on this first drive of half number 2.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Coach Dietz wants this to keep rolling, and they've done a nice job of using the run to set up some of those passes, like the first down to Ballantyne right there, or the play previous. So this is exactly what DePauw wanted to do, and the advantage is they're also eating time, like you said.
So second down and 7. This is the absolute textbook definition of the 4-minute drill. Drive after the fumble began. Really just past the 10-yard line. Again, hand off to Whitehead. And just making defenders miss, taking 4 and 5 yards at a time. What's the counter here for Wabash defensively, Steve? What do you got to change?
I guess you just have to get people moving up front. You know, there are blitzes that don't only work against the pass. I mean, there are run blitzes. You got to do something to keep DePauw from running the ball. And, you know, then you get Robbie Ballantyne running in behind their linebackers like we saw a few plays ago, and his brother throwing it to him. So, look, going in, Coach Gilbert said this offense is really hard to stop. They have a lot of weapons.
3rd and 2. Do you think 4 if you don't get it here, Brad?
Maybe. If it's a yard or less, I think I do.
They'll pass. Ballantyne going for the deep ball. Lukowski, he's got it. Spun out of bounds at the 1-yard line. He was one great defensive play away from having his 3rd touchdown of the day. 1st and goal, Tigers, after a gain of 42.
I mean, this is as good of a 2.5 quarters as maybe anyone's had in the Bell game in a long, long time. Not to, Scott Ballantyne, yes, but Lukowski, I mean, every way he is getting this done, catching the ball, blocking for his running backs. What a throw, a great catch there. An amazing game so far for him.
Well, and Scott Ballantyne did so well. If you look at that replay, looking left, he knew right where he was going. Looking left, and then he just turned and threw it. He knew he was going on the streak up the sideline to Lukowski from the beginning.
88 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns for Lukowski. It's Whitehead. Whitehead, touchdown. Had to fight through a couple of tacklers, but make it 5 consecutive scores for the Tigers, and it is now 34-7. And Wabash right now does not have an answer for these DePauw Tigers.
Almost wonder if that fumble on the kickoff that could have gone Wabash's way just sucked the air out of the defense. I mean, that was an opportunity for a huge play to start the half.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that, Brad, before you did. Like the bounce of the ball, you know, this oblong, whatever that funny shape of the football officially name is, but just happens to bounce out just in time before we could recover. What a different game. It could be at least a start to the 3rd quarter.
Barry on for the extra point. And no problem there. No, he missed it. My apologies. Missed it wide right. 34-7 is our score. DePauw in control of this one. We're back in 60 seconds. You're watching Monon Bell number 131 on the ISC Sports Network.
The Alumni Network is obviously amazing, everyone knows that, but until you're actually put in a situation where you get to interact with them, that's when you truly get to see it.
One of my favorite things to talk about with alumni is what was Wabash like before I got here. It's another level of connection that you have with them.
I have taken advantage of the Alumni Network to seek out internships, and they've been incredibly supportive.
And that's something you don't see everywhere, is the alums wholeheartedly putting themselves back into the community.
DePauw has been 4 of the most formative years of my life thus far. I fell in love with the campus, and then it really came down to, can we afford this? Can we make this happen?
At face value, it can be an expensive price tag, but DePauw works very hard to provide lots of avenues for people to be able to experience DePauw no matter the position that they're coming from.
I've gained a core group of friends. I've gained these experiences going abroad that I would not have had without the help of DePauw. Those donors made DePauw an option for me.
Again, there are all the folks checking in from Zoom land. Ian McDougall has a little game of his own that he's going to be working on here pretty soon. As you see, Purdue is in Washington. It's starting to get late in the evening for our guys that are watching in Switzerland. Hello to the watch party in Dayton, Ohio. Thanks for joining us. And again, you want to be a part of the Zoom party while watching the game? Go to ISC Sports Net's Twitter account. You'll find the link for the Zoom party to check out all the action here watching today's game. And yes, it is a day where you can be watching from outside. No campfire is needed, frankly.
Look at the Gonzalez part. Jonathan Gonzalez are grilling out there. That looks, I was a little worried. He showed up earlier and it was just his headshot. Now they got the camera on. Well,
it's kind of like when I do the IHSA pairing shows. It turns into Better Homes and Gardens of Indiana.
Yeah.
All the basement layouts we have to see the pairing shows. Gomez's kick, fielded 4-yard line. Grimes upended at the 26-yard line, and simply put, Steve, Wabash nearly has to score every time they touch it now.
Yeah, definitely need to get some things. Well, and you're going to need both sides of the ball just about every possession on the way out. And, I know Coach Gilbert, and what he's talking to them now is about, just show up and every play for itself, every series for itself, be men of character. Wabash always fights attitude, and, being down, 27 points is a tall hill to climb, but it has to start right here on this play.
5 wide go the Little Giants. The rushing attack has been stymied by DePauw. Quick hitter, catch made. Tackle made after a gain of 5 yards. It'll be second down. Catch made for Wabash on the play by Rowan Durbin. Junior tight end. Tight ends really haven't featured much in terms of receptions this season for the Little Giants. Fake the hand up to Tyler. Again, come back to Durbin. Durbin taken down after a gain of 4 yards. Back-to-back tackles made by Harry Pratt, and we have not told Harry's story. Harry from Australia did not play Aussie rules football, played American tackle football growing up overseas. Tyler on the carry, nowhere to go. The DePauw defense stands tall against the rushing game yet again.
That's Dominic Siebel off the edge there. What a play to come in and make this now a 4th down situation for Wabash. And, they would have much preferred a 4th and 1 or a first down, and now it looks like they're going to have to punt.
Rushing yardage down to 21 yards rushing. To put it in perspective, folks, DePauw has been credited with allowing 112 yards rushing on the season. Not a fake, it will be a punt. It'll be a shorter kick that Johnson will simply scatter, and honestly, DePauw really doesn't care where they take over. They're just trying to run clock at this juncture. As the ball goes all the way down to the 8-yard line, that is a 61-yard kick with no return.
And I know when that ball was kicked a little short, Brad, I know you were thinking, don't try to catch it, don't try to catch it, don't try to catch it, weren't you?
No.
Yeah, there's no reason to in that situation. That's the only thing that can, get the momentum turned at this point, or that's something that can get the momentum turned.
Yeah.
Let's again thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew, Jordan Shue, Dennis Glover, Adam Phipps, Brant McCoskey, Andy Lynch, Brian Pierce, Matt Badiato, Eldon Wheeler, Dylan Lax, Mike McManus, and Nick Seeger, our drone pilot and camera operator. One of our favorite days on the ISC Sports Network calendar. Not exactly a favorite day for the Little Giants right now. Fake the handoff on the slant and dropped, and that is Ballantyne doing something he rarely does, because he may have had visions of the end zone on that catch.
Yeah, you don't see that very often from him, and that would have been a massive play. A lot of room to run right there. He'll want that one back, and I have a feeling he's going to get a shot at later on this game.
Yeah, Robbie could have added 91. I think a 91-yard touchdown to his stats on that catch.
That is where older brother will give younger brother give older brother grief about messing up his passing stats at the end of this game.
Right.
2nd and 10. Johnson on the handoff, on the cutback, and again, that's kind of been the story, that he's been able to pick up some solid yards. Not as much that time though. Just a couple on the play, and 3rd down and 8. And again, DePauw has converted their last 8 3rd down tries.
Well, this is huge for Wabash right here. Just getting the ball back, but maybe you can force him into a mistake here in 3rd and long, sack, turnover, but just stop him short of the sticks. If you're going to have a chance to claw back in this one, it has to start right here.
Pressure coming. Ballantyne nowhere to go. Wabash gets the stop they had to have. Sack for the Little Giants. And here comes the punt team on for DePauw.
There you go. That's what you need. You get a break, and it's on that 1st down play, wide open, big play potential. Ballantyne drops the ball. You need breaks like that if you're going to stage a comeback down as big as Wabash is, and then you get the key stop.
Yeah, you're right. To get the momentum, sometimes it takes some serendipity, like a drop by Robbie Ballantyne.
And Rupert amongst those that were there to make the play. Dakota Johnson also getting credit for that play. So Gomez on for the punt. Outstanding kick. Adams calls for the fair catch at the 48-yard line. A kick of 44 yards with no return.
And that's big right there. We've talked about how good Wabash is at blocking kicks, blocking punts. You're standing in your own end zone. They were coming after him right there. So just get that ball off, but able to get it, up across midfield. That's a nice punt.
Yeah, and really haven't been close to a punt. Of course, DePauw hasn't punted many times today, but when they haven't really been able to get close to one.
Hello to those of you watching from Boston, from Detroit, and from Russia. Thanks for tuning in and enjoying this slice of home on this Saturday afternoon. Campbell will tuck it and run, and again gets what he can. Tripped up. That was Luke Nolan from Zionsville that stopped the gain after a pickup of 3. 2nd and 7, and obviously quick tempo now for Wabash. They'll wait for Chase to get set on the opposite side of the formation. Campbell slings it and got a foot down. 1st down, Wabash in the vicinity of the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it's another one of those back shoulder throws. We never threw those back in the day. That's kind of become a new thing, but I think those would be hard to throw. And you get somebody like Luke being able to get the foot down. And was that your catch that you were known for, Brad?
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
We'll go with that.
Sometimes we'll go with it.
32-yard pickup on the pitch and catch. Red zone opportunity here. Campbell buying time and runs out of time. Roselle and Nolan combine on that one.
Yeah, I think that's an example of, if you can try to get the ball out when it's supposed to be out right there, and if throw it away from the defender, if it's not incomplete, it's incomplete, but you're not taking the 6-yard sack. It's easy to say up here watching this.
2nd and long. Again, Campbell slings it. Catch made. That's up and out of bounds around the 10-yard line. Again, Luke Adams on the catch, but flag is down. And this looks like it'll be a flag against DePauw.
Should be a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down is my guess.
So first down for Wabash. It may end up being half the distance here, we'll see.
Yes.
It is a hold and a much-needed first down for the Little Giants. This third quarter, fellas, has seemingly flown by. 4:39 left to go in it. And the clock rolls yet again.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have a touchdown here for Wabash, ideally doing it without taking much more time off the clock. But anything, get some momentum. They've got it here, get in the end zone and get some more.
Out in the flat and incomplete pass. TJ Alexander was the target that time, but nothing to it. Second down.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there between Brand and TJ.
TJ, a senior from Bishop Chatard High School. Bishop Chatard well represented on this Wabash College roster. It's a second down. Sun starting to fight back through the clouds here in Crawfordsville. Everybody coming and nowhere to go. Slung down by Nolan. The sacks continue to pile up. That is sack number 5 for the Tigers.
I like that call there because you know at this point they're probably throwing the football. And so you say, you know what? They got to throw the ball down the field. We're just going to bring some pressure and see if we can get to it first.
Nolan came in with 6.5 sacks on the season. Well, there was some graduation loss from a year ago. There's a whole lot of seniors, especially up front for DePauw. Third and long.
Yeah, here I think even 8 to 10 yards is good. You're going for it on fourth.
Correct.
Get what you can.
Campbell again. Fires and incomplete. There's going to be a late hit, though. So instead of 4th and long, it's going to be first down. I think Roland's going to be deemed either late hit or unnecessary roughness, one of the two.
Alexander incomplete. However, we do have a flag on the play. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 10. After this is the goal. Automatic first down.
So second first down of the drive by way of penalty for Wabash.
You hate that if you're you're just giving them life, when you could have had a turnover on downs here.
After that penalty, Wabash now has a first and 10 just outside the 10.
Penalties have not been frequent in this game, but starting to pick up. 5 flags for 46 yards against DePauw, 2 for 30 yards against Wabash. Campbell again, fires, end zone, touchdown. That's the tight end, Rowan Durbin. Wabash continuing to battle. They score for the first time since the opening drive.
Well, hey, just what the doctor ordered right there, getting it done, and now just get a little momentum. Down to a 20-point lead right here, or being behind by 20 points. And still going to need, at this point, a big play.
DePauw has been
some kind of, like I said, I keep saying a pick or a fumble recovery, something like that. But it's a start.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we'll have to see if, an hour from now we're talking about that roughing the passer call and being critical to this game, because that's a killer for DePauw, who had Wabash off the field on that 4th down. And now there's still plenty of time left. If this Wabash defense can step up, get another 3 and out, or even better, a turnover, this one not over at all.
Now, Rowan Durbin is listed as a starting tight end in today's game. He has 3 catches for 19 yards and that for a touchdown. As the man that has been on the call of every home game so far, just kind of making sure that what I'm about to say jives with what you are seeing. I had him listed as not having a catch all season until today's game.
Yeah, I believe
Is that an accurate statement?
I'm not surprised by that statement. I'm surprised he hasn't had any, but I'm not surprised by it. because I know he hasn't had many. He hasn't been a big part of the offense. But I did know they had something set up here. Maybe that was the play right there. They were going to sneak him out maybe from a tackle position and kind of move the tight end or the tackle to the other side. And perhaps that's what happened there. And he told me that this week when I ran into him on campus. So I think that is correct. So what a one to get, your first one in the ball game and for a TD.
Rowan, a junior from Thorntown and played for the Stars of Western Boone. Rucker does kick this one away, and this will simply go to the end zone for a touchback. And now, Brad, it's simply every first down at a time. You want to try to take as much as 2 minutes off the clock per first down if you're DePauw.
Yeah, time and even field position a little bit too, because if you're going to turn the ball over to Wabash, you want to make them have it on a long field. Make sure that their drives are taking time off the clock as well. So just like we said when DePauw first had the ball and went all the way down for a touchdown to start the half, you're looking for some first downs here to give yourself some space and knock time off the clock.
Ball at the 25-yard line. The ground game has been solid, if not spectacular, averaging much like Brad's GPA at DePauw, 3.8.
I'll take
3.8 yards per, somewhere in that vicinity, right?
Yeah, it's a 5-point
rounding
skill.
up, sure, absolutely. Handoff goes to Whitehead, and he'll get just a yard again. Wabash has to get the stop here and get it quickly, trying to get back into this game.
Well, and let's go to the Wabash game at John Carroll. I believe Wabash scored, I'm close to this being right if it's not accurate, 21 points in the fourth quarter at John Carroll to make that a 3-point game.
I know it was 31-7 at one point, became 31-28, exactly.
And just by getting stops and then by moving the ball and getting plays. So this is what need to do that here.
Valentine looking for an open man and just kind of throws it away. And again, not only do you not gain yards there, but you stop the clock with 2:50 to go in the third quarter, and obviously a player down currently, and it is Samuels, the tight end, who has a touchdown today.
He went down kind of mid-play. I don't know if there was contact on that when he did. I think he was rolling out to maybe catch the pass. I'd be interested to see if he was actually touched. Right away, they knew he was hurt.
So again, Samuels going to be checked for an injury. We mentioned the fact that, all right, fellas, are we cool with that shirt? Is that like the soccer scarf that has, both teams for a big match, or is that more like the Peyton Manning half Broncos, half Colts jersey? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do we think here?
It's kind of creepy to look at. I'll give you that.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it's usually on a family member who has somebody at both schools.
That's the explanation.
If it's a regular Wabash student wearing it, thumbs down.
Okay, good. I saw that pop up on the screen. I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about the shot I'm seeing right now.
Brad can't look at it. He's a little creeped out over there.
I mean, the Tiger maybe could be on top. That'd be more appropriate for the scoreboard. But I think, that's an interesting shirt. But I'll let it pass too, Steve.
3rd down and 9. So Samuels helped to the sideline. And again, you just kind of feel the momentum starting to shift. Wabash gets a stop here. We're having a bit of a different conversation.
It's a weird thing to say in a 20-point game, but this is a big play. I agree with you on the momentum standpoint.
Valentine gets away in sticky coverage down the field. Just buying time. Slings it. Finds his brother, but I think he's shy of the first down. Robbie makes the catch. It's 4th and 1. And does Brett Dietz go riverboat gambler here and go for it? The answer's no. Here comes the punt team.
I would have been shocked.
Yeah, you talk about momentum. Wabash has it now. They stop him right here. That's just a killer. I know it's only 4th and yard. I think this is the right call, but that's a great job by Scott Valentine to just keep that play alive. Take more time off the clock. Clock continues to run now. That looked like it was going to be a sack for sure.
So back-to-back punts. Gomez's last kick, 44. Does a good job of getting this away again. Adams, fair catch. The 23-yard line. And Adams is something that is rare in this game. And that is a young man that played at a scholarship level of football. Transfer from Southeast Missouri State in the Ohio Valley Conference, native of Sullivan, Indiana.
Yeah, we'll get a couple of those.
Yeah.
Somebody who looked here. It's usually somebody who looked here early and then went somewhere else. And I'm sure DePauw's a few of those too, and then didn't quite work out. And they really this was number 2 choice. Although we played at John Carroll, they had 5 starters who were 5th-year transfers. A little different situation than Luke, but so might be starting to see it more.
1st and 10. Campbell throws, looking for Chase. And Chase just kind of got lost as he turned around and could not track it down. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, a lot of contact, more kind of hand fighting there. I think that was good, clean contact, and Chase just couldn't turn around and kind of hit off the back shoulder at the last second.
Chase from Springs Valley High School. Steve, you want to kind of tell the Chase family story here at Wabash College?
Yeah, certainly will. So there was a Kip Chase game, class of 2003. He was president of our Alumni Association. He has 3 nephews on the team right now and has his son coming, his oldest.
Campbell turns, will tuck it and run. Slides right before the 1st down marker. Picks up 8, though. 3rd down and 2.
It sure looked like Russell had him dead to rights, and Campbell did a nice job of getting out to turn that into a positive gain. Russell just overran it a little bit.
Less than 90 seconds to go in quarter number 3. As the sun peaks through the clouds, it's not setting yet on the Wabash College effort today. Campbell again will run, takes a wallop, but falls forward and has the 1st down. Pretty good pop applied that time by Blake Cole for DePauw, but not good enough to prevent a Wabash College 1st down.
Yeah, that was close. That probably, they're probably in 4-down territory to go for something that short. Regardless, I think for DePauw, you're just about prevent the big play. Prevent the big play right now. If Wabash is going to move the ball, let them take time doing it.
Campbell looking for the deep shot, looking for Adams. Got it! Down around the 20-yard line. A gain of nearly 55 yards and a Wabash College 1st down.
Yeah, well, that's the big play. That's what you don't want to give up right there. Just a great catch, great concentration by Adams. Nice throw standing in there from Campbell.
Wabash trying to make this a 2-score game by the end of the quarter. This may be the final snap of quarter number 3. Campbell in the flat. Catch made. That's Chase. He dives forward. Right around the 1st down marker. They're going to say he's going to be just short, which means this will be the end of the quarter. DePauw leads by 20, but momentum is on the home side of the field. Is 15 minutes enough to make up a 20-point deficit? We'll find out when we come back to Little Giant Stadium. You're watching the 131st Monon Bell Classic, and you're doing so on ISC.
DePauw has been 4 of the most formative years of my life thus far. I fell in love with the campus, and then it really came down to, can we afford this? Can we make this happen?
At face value, it can be an expensive price tag, but DePauw works very hard to provide lots of avenues for people to be able to experience DePauw no matter the position that they're coming from.
I've gained a core group of friends. I've gained these experiences going abroad that I would not have had without the help of DePauw. Those donors made DePauw an option for me.
There are many ways to judge the quality of a college or university. At Wabash, we are proud of being nationally ranked in so many measures of quality. The engagement of our students with their faculty, the exceptional classroom experience, the unbeatable internship program and alumni network. It's easy to see how we earn our reputation as one of the best colleges in the country. We are proud of our rankings, but come see for yourself. Schedule a visit today at wabash.edu.
The Bell has been in possession of DePauw University since November of 2022. That was the Monon Bell Classic. Today is the absolute opposite from a weather perspective. Temperatures in the 70s. Wabash trying to win it for the first time in 4 years. They trail by 20, but again, momentum has finally turned back in their favor. 2nd and short. Oyashigi got back. Again, in high school, that's a penalty. In college, it's not. He got back in time.
Fans don't always understand that.
2nd and a yard. On the screen, it's Chase, and he forgot one important thing. The ball. 3rd and short. And obviously the entire field is now kind of 4-down territory for Wabash at this point.
I don't My initial look at that, I don't think he had a lot of places to go anyways.
No.
I don't think it was a big drop. If anything, it could be okay because the clock stopped instead of getting a 0 gain and the clock running.
3rd down and a yard. Ten seconds on the play clock. Campbell fires and wide. And again, a 3 doesn't do you any good. You're going for it here on 4th and a yard.
Yeah, I think that's
right. But I would have liked to I guess we were running a play to get the first down. It would have come out wrong, but I'd like to, I'm not going to second guess.
Secure the first down.
It just felt, something felt off about that one.
And again, folks, DePauw averages 10 yards rushing allowed a game. Wabash is averaging a yard per carry on the day. You wonder why you're throwing it on 2nd and 1 and 3rd and 1, maybe 4th and 1. That's why. Campbell runs. Campbell won't get there. Got put in a vice by DePauw defensively. He got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. DePauw gets the stand.
Yeah, I mean, that's, they said DePauw never quits, and it really looked like Campbell was going to have a seam to find that first down, and that D-line just collapsed. They got the pressure in the backfield, then collapsed still at the point of attack to keep him from gaining a yard.
DePauw leads all divisions of college football in run defense. That has been their MO. That is Roselle. That is Nolan. That is Siebel. That is then Tariq Oyashigi that helped secure the play as well. And again, it's why I explained, if you're a Wabash fan thinking, my goodness, you had 3 shots from 1 yard out. Why didn't you run the ball? That's why you don't run the ball. DePauw is that good defensively.
And every inch just to keep his body from falling forward. 3 guys stacked up. I mean, every single thing going right there in a game of inches for DePauw.
Ballantyne. I'd say they're a law firm, but Robbie's going to go be a dentist when he's done playing football.
So
a gain of 11, it's first down.
So that's 5 catches for Robbie Ballantyne. That puts him into 3rd most in single-season DePauw history. Do you know who he passed with that catch?
Not Brad Wochomurka?
Not me. No, that would be the general manager of the New York Giants. That would be Joe Shane, who Robbie Ballantyne just passed for 3rd place all-time in a single season. That was his 81st reception. Joe Shane, who still has a job in New York, even though the head coach does not.
Again, the DePauw guy said that, not the neutral guy, the Wabash guy.
I'm thrilled.
Ricciardi on the catch. Freeman steers him out of bounds. That'll be a gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, this is really just all about clock management here, not turning the ball over. You don't want to get too complacent. I mean, a lot of things that worked in that first half, that run to set up the pass, maybe some of those short passes in the flat, and see if you can turn them upfield.
You are frankly playing keep away right now if you're DePauw. Offense finally found some rhythm. Ballantyne, Lukowski, nope. And it's 3rd down. And again, after DePauw had converted 8 consecutive 3rd downs, they have now missed out on their last 2. They were a yard short last time.
Well, DePauw sure hasn't been afraid to put the ball in the air, in this situation in the game. You still got to move the chains, and because knowingly Wabash needs to get stops quickly now to have a chance to come back, being 3 scores down.
3rd and 7. Ballantyne, incomplete. Blanket coverage applied by Wabash. That was Michael Hegwood, the senior corner, that made the play.
Well, what a stop, that by DePauw that last time on that 4th and 1. Wabash after that big play getting down to the 20, and at this point Wabash needs to punch all those in. So still possible, and for Wabash to come back in this thing. I've seen them do it before at John Carroll, although they didn't quite get the win there, but just need to keep moving the ball.
109 yards of offense for DePauw in half number 2. That may not sound like Wabash is shutting them down. That was after 298 in the first half. And again, that also made it look like a great punt, but given Wabash's propensity for blocking kicks, that was a great kick. And then when you add the Roy McAvoy West Texas iron that he just hit, it's kind of through the wind. That'd be a line drive in the box score. That is all the way down to the 17. It didn't look like much. That's a 54-yard kick.
That's exactly what DePauw needed. Again, get it off safely because Wabash is so good at blocking those kicks. Especially after that drive, did not take much time off the clock. Really nice response there by the Wabash defense. And you see the punter there just, pushing the ball down the field, roll the clock, roll the ball.
Trying to get that ball to roll through the cabbage as far as it can.
Sometimes you speak things into existence or you motion them into existence. Campbell avoids pressure for now. We'll get right back around the line of scrimmage. And Campbell is down. Cole was the player, and
Campbell's taken a few hard hits today on some of those sacks. That one did look like he got crunched pretty good.
And all of Cole's weight came down on Campbell. The backup quarterback is Jackson Gilbert, as in Jake's son. So if Campbell is able to continue, and Gilbert is immediately starting to loosen on the Wabash sidelines. Again, Gilbert has seen some snaps this year. Gilbert's numbers on the year, 26 of 37, 390 yards passing, and 5 touchdowns.
And a good chunk of those, I think, last week. Right, Steve? So just saw some action recently.
Three touchdown passes last week, and I thought Brand came down pretty hard on his shoulder and head, and I wonder if his head didn't bounce off the turf a little bit there. So he was out for a game, for part of the game, had some concussion issues. So hopefully those aren't popping their way back in. Don't want to speculate anything. And sometimes a shot in the arm to an offense can be a change in quarterback and something different. And you get it. You've seen this before. Kids come in and start making a few throws for whatever reason.
So Gilbert's going to get the look here. Just a sophomore. And there's no time for him to hand it off and kind of warm up. He's got to go. So immediately, catch made, that's the tight end. Again, Durbin who had the last touchdown, but Wagner was there immediately. It is a gain of a yard, maybe 2. 3rd down.
Have you noticed that a lot of the Wabash snaps have been really low to her quarterbacks? They're down at their knees.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a small thing, but it's not, because it gets the quarterback's eyes off the defense.
By the way, Campbell is back out there, and right before we went to that camera shot, he was kind of loosening that right shoulder. Let's see if that affects the ball here. Campbell just dropped. Rolling.
Oh, right on the shoulder again, too.
He went down hard as well.
And that is the 7th DePauw sack in this game.
Number 10, Joey Rowland.
Yeah, and this is the right call, I think, here. It's just, 4th and 12 on your own 15. You can't give the ball right back to DePauw. One play, they're in the end zone, and now you're playing for, hey, make a big play, create a turnover, get a fumble, an interception, something here, maybe something on the punt.
End over end kick, fair catch called for. Johnson makes it at the 49-yard line. And that's where DePauw will take over. So while DePauw's offense has been somewhat stuck in neutral, their defense, as is so often the case, has been answering the challenge.
Yeah, really, as you see here, it's been all over Brand Campbell. Just one bad play, really, in the second half. The big play down the field, and then the penalty on the 4th down and roughing the passer. But they have been all over Campbell with pressure all afternoon.
And here the chant of Wabash always fights coming from the Wabash sideline.
For DePauw, though, you look at that last series, that was a pretty quick 3 and out. You want to make sure you want to move the chains here. At least 1 first down, see if you can take several minutes off the clock, start making Jake Gilbert think about timeouts.
So 10-yard penalty against DePauw during the course of that play. But again, as I said earlier, frankly, DePauw really doesn't care where they get the ball right now. It's just a matter of keeping the clock rolling. In the winner of this game, while not guaranteed, is expected to get a Division III at-large berth in the playoffs. And if it is DePauw, it'll be a 5th consecutive postseason trip. Electing to throw it, but again, when you've got that brotherly connection, you feel good about it. Ballantyne to the 44-yard line. And that's good for a DePauw first down to the 12-yard gain. And now A flag comes in, and let's see if this is against the home team or the visiting team. As the emotions starting to bubble up a little bit as we get to the business end of today's game. So the catch is good for a first down. Here's what happened afterward. And I think now Rupert's going to be charged with an additional 15 yards.
Yeah, not a ton, but I think that last little chop down there, and that's the thing is you're right in front of the official, so it makes it hard not to call.
Yeah, and the officials don't want to start letting those things snowball and getting carried away.
DePauw trying to win back-to-back games here for the first time since they had a 5-game winning streak in this rivalry from 1996 through 2000. We're going to finish on that Division III playoff conversation. DePauw has made the postseason 7 times, if this year's included, in school history, and 5 of those will be the last 5 years. Unless there is a comeback in the works for Wabash, they are likely headed to play in a bowl game for a second consecutive year. And again, what this is the Open Doors Bowl Series. These are 4 Midwestern-based Division III leagues that send their best team that does not make the postseason of the NCAA variety to play a one-off in a bowl game. It is the OAC, the NCAC, President's Conference, and the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Last year, Wabash played Hanover. Ballantyne looking for the end zone, and his brother was his target. Overthrows Robbie just a bit, third down.
Yeah, that was pretty well covered. I'm not sure there's anywhere that Scott could have thrown it that Robbie could have caught that without catching a Wabash player's hand. Maybe a little surprising to see, you want DePauw, you're DePauw, you want to run the clock, keep the ball out of Wabash's hands. You're going for it down there in the end zone. I mean, a score absolutely just puts this game to bed. But, maybe this is 2-down territory. Probably it is for DePauw, I would think. I don't even know if you honestly don't even know if you messed at kicking a field goal. So I think you're probably running a play here knowing you're going to go for it on 4th down.
Especially giving Wabash the ability to block kicks.
Yeah.
Fake the handoff on the throw and into traffic. Flag comes in. Ricciardi was the intended target, and if you're going to get Rupert for pass interference, which would give DePauw a first down. That is the case. 4 penalties accepted against Wabash today, and 2 of them on this drive. They're going to say Rupert. They're going to say that was, I believe, against Keating.
Yeah, I think he may have held him just kind of coming out of his break a little bit, and that's why he was falling down catching the football.
The chains move. That is first down number 25 against the DePauw Tigers. Ballantyne, touchdown. Well, you had to get Robbie 1 touchdown today, right?
I
had to get your best player a touchdown.
I think they were, in a Monon Bell game, this is the last one these two will obviously play together, so why not get a brother-to-brother connection for a touchdown? It took till late in the 4th quarter to do it, but Robbie Ballantyne, before you know it, here's 7 catches, now a touchdown. DePauw looking to put this one away.
4th passing touchdown for Scott today, and back to a 4-touchdown lead for the DePauw Tigers. Wagner the holder. Barry on for the extra point try. And this one, after missing the last one, is good. This one appears to be in the win column for the DePauw Tigers. 41-14 with 10:46 to play. We're back in 60 seconds on ISC.
Whenever I've been challenged, there is something really good waiting around that corner. When I've been challenged to put in more effort on the athletic field or put in more hours to read or to study for a really hard exam, I see good results because I was challenged. My freshman year, I was challenged in every aspect, but I came back even stronger because of those challenges. To me, challenges are what make life fun.
We're proud to reimagine Blackstock Stadium as the Blackstock Stadium and Athletics Performance Center.
This best-in-class facility will not only redefine Division III athletics, but also elevate the entire fan and community experience at DePauw.
Here, traditions will thrive, and the unique DePauw spirit that connects us all will shine even brighter.
41-14, DePauw leads this one. It was a 35-point win when they won in the snow at home 3 years ago. It was a 3-score win when they won at home last year. Last 2 games here have been much more of the competitive variety. Frankly, that is what we expected this time around. Even though Wabash has battled this entire second half, again, UC, a lot of seats started empty in terms of the Wabash half of things. DePauw has been in control of this game, really, Brad, from the second quarter on.
Yeah, I mean, go back to the interception, right? I mean, one big defensive play for the Tigers, that really turned the tide when they were down 7-0 and then, ran off, 34 straight points before Wabash responded, and that's a great job by DePauw there. Momentum was slowing a little bit on offense and now able to punch it back in the end zone and really probably close out this game.
Still 10:46 left to play in it. You see the president of DePauw University. You saw her in the commercial, ringing the bell. No fancy suite for the press. She's sitting with the fans today.
That's right. Woman of the people. Good day to do it, though. And now the sun's come out, 70 degrees, and we just I've never seen this. It's amazing.
The year that kept getting tossed around that this game was 1999. Kickoff temperature was 69 degrees that day. And the kickoff unit acknowledging the DePauw student section in behind that end zone. Well, again, this is such a logistical wonderment, the way that these two campuses are transformed every year to host 8,500, 9,000, 10,000 or more. Tip of the cap to the folks at Wabash College for the job they have done in putting together today's game. And you see Jackson Gilbert at quarterback. We're going to talk more about this after this snap. We saw Campbell come back in. It's Gilbert in there now. On the screen, Dickerson will pick up 5 yards. Kelsie Kasper, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, Brent Campbell went straight to the training table after that last drive, where he still is working with the trainer right now, stretching out his legs, but also attending to his throwing hand. He cut open the top of his hand on that Wabash scoring drive that saw that roughing of the passer penalty. Jackson Gilbert, though, was staying warm on the sideline, throwing passes to teammates. Get ready for this drive.
2nd down and 5. Campbell, a junior. He'll be back here next year. Gilbert throws. Deep ball that is incomplete. TJ Alexander was the intended target. 3rd down.
Yeah, what an experience, though, for Gilbert to be able to get into the game here, Monon Bell game, playing for his dad. Obviously, he's been used to playing for his dad. To do it now here at the next level, how many kids get the opportunity to play for the dad in high school, then play on this stage for the dad in college? Right. It just doesn't happen. This is really cool.
It's 3rd down and 5. 4-man pressure. Gilbert fires and incomplete, and this Roselle completely blew up the timing of that play. And at this point, the punt unit looks like will come on, and the mountain got a little higher to climb for Wabash, playing their backup quarterback. And Brad, barring anything of the miraculous, this DePauw senior class will achieve something that frankly is rare in either direction in this rivalry. And that is going to go undefeated in 4 years in Bell games.
Yeah, and make the playoffs in all five. It's never happened in DePauw history. So 4 years, now 5 for the school, but this senior class has never missed the playoffs, and if this holds, has never not held the Monon Bell.
And of course, unfortunately for Wabash, the opposite appears to be true. these young men that are seniors would have never tasted a Bell victory in their time on campus.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, and Brad knows, people find out you played, and they'll say, what was your record in Bell games? They don't say, what was your overall record? How many games did you win in 4 years? What was your Bell game record? And it is. This is a very serious rivalry, as you both know. And, this thing swings back and forth, and swinging toward DePauw's way right now.
This senior class with this win today for DePauw will match last year's senior class in terms of number of career victories. As Whitehead gets the carry here, and Whitehead charges forward for 9 yards. DePauw now approaching 450 yards of total offense in today's game. What are kind of the lessons learned today for Jake Gilbert and staff that you kind of apply to 2026? Again, 8-2 in a bowl game is not a bad season, but you still recognize there's a bit of a hill to climb here.
Yeah, you said it. It's really not a bad season, but man, you lost the Bell game, and that's what it always comes down to. It's so hard to rebound and play in the Open Doors Bowl. We saw that last year when Wabash went over there and played.
Going for the downs, Ballantyne tipped away. Free play there. It's going to be 3rd down and a yard.
Yeah, I mean, DePauw's just looking to continue to put out everything they can up on the scoreboard here, and obviously Ballantyne is, on the verge of more records here too. So there are records to be broken for him, but they're not really going to conservative mode. They want to keep running their offense and carry momentum into the playoffs next week.
Well, and Greg, sorry, you ask about what are lessons learned. I mean, it's just letting your young guys experience this and experience the season. Coach Gilbert's really excited about the freshman class. You see one starter as a freshman, but if you look at both these starting lineups,
ball pops out. Could be Wabash football. Yep, it is. Wabash has got it. A little mix-up on the handoff and a glimmer of hope for Wabash, and then a flag to the heavens gets thrown.
Yeah, it looked like just confusion there on the read, and Ballantyne and the running back trying to figure out who was going to keep the ball, and neither one of them did.
That is senior Zeph Johnson that comes out of the pile with the football, one of Wabash's 4 team captains. Johnson, a defensive tackle from Land O'Lakes, Florida. And I've got this number at my fingertips for DePauw. 147 kids in the roster, 90 of them for the state of Indiana. Probably a similar kind of number for Wabash, but it seems that Florida has always been a pretty fertile recruiting ground for Wabash College.
Well, it's interesting, and it happens at small schools. Once you get a trail coming along,
right?
Then somebody follows. It kind of started with Cooper Sullivan, receiver, graduated last year and is actually helping out on the coaching staff now from Florida. And then a couple guys followed him, Will and Ben Netting, who played in the Bell game, followed him from there. And then Brandon Campbell takes a look. Brandon Campbell's story, let me just mention this, is really interesting because Brandon was looking at Wabash from Florida. Brand's mom, who works in, I think it's medical pharmaceuticals or maybe some kind of pharmaceuticals, medical sales, calls her boss who lives in Zionsville, asks, what do you know about Wabash? This Wabash College Brand's interested in. And he goes, well, I went to Wabash College, so I got a lot of good things to say about it. And that was that connection, just out of the blue.
Handoff goes to Dickerson, and he'll lose a yard.
Handoff to number 7, Cole Dickerson.
Again, the Wabash rushing yardage has gone down as the day has gone along. Right now, they're sitting on 18 yards rushing on 25 carries. Again, sacks get factored into that. But there is a chance if the defense gets another sack or two, that DePauw will go to the postseason having giving up less than 100 yards rushing on the season. Not in a game,
incredible.
On this season.
2 years in a row, too. I mean, this was the nation's #1 rush defense, I think, a year ago or right up there. It's amazing what they've been able to do against the run for a couple of seasons now.
Gilbert will pick up yardage here, just a couple. It'll be 3rd down with 8.5 minutes left to go in this game. And last year, DePauw hosted a pair of playoff games at Blackstock Stadium. The general thought is they're probably on the road. We'll see from a seeding standpoint. They could be at home the opening weekend, or they could get a bye and be on the road on Thanksgiving weekend. Last year upended by Johns Hopkins in the round of 16.
And that was a heartbreaking loss, too. I mean, literally it came down to the last play of the game. DePauw on the 1 yard line couldn't get it in.
Catch made by Durbin. That's a 1st down. He'll pick it up at the 17-yard line, again of 17 yards, and first down inside the red zone for Wabash College. Gilbert just throws this one away. There were receivers in the area, so no intentional grounding there, second down. That Johns Hopkins team, amazing enough, coached by a former Indiana Mr. Football and Daniel Wadika that led West Lafayette to a state championship back in 2009. Second and 10. It is somewhat jarring to see so many empty seats in the Wabash end zone section, given the way today's game has gone. Again, Gilbert looks, will run, will pick up good yardage, gets out of bounds, picks up 5 yards and sets up third down.
Yeah, a couple nice decisions there. I mean, the coverage has been good down the field, but Gilbert thrown it away, avoiding that negative play, that sack on the second or on the first down, and then they're on second down getting what he can to make it third and manageable.
And how many times have you seen a Wabash quarterback today get back, have a little bit of time, and throw from the pocket? Not very many.
Not many. No.
Play clock at 8. Dropped. Just broken up. Hildebrand able to knock that one away. And it's going to be fourth down. Holt, the safety. And then Hunt is the backup receiver that plays for DePauw.
Fourth down and 5.
Yeah, that was a good pass. Protection that time. That was in the pocket, and a nice pass delivered, and the receiver just couldn't hang on to the football.
Gilbert now 3 of 7 for 23 yards since coming on in injury relief of Campbell. Fourth down. Wabash 0 for 1 on fourth down. Gilbert just kind of lobs this one up and won't be able to make the play. That was well out of bounds. And stand for DePauw. They'll get the football back with 6:40 left to go in today's game. This is, by the way, going to be Brett Dietz's 50th win as the head coach at DePauw.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, an 86% winning percentage coming in. I mentioned the company he keeps, the likes of Ryan Day, Kalen DeBoer, in terms of winning percentage of coaches with 5 or more years on the sideline. And he just keeps racking up the wins.
It is his 6th year, but really because COVID, it's his 5th. So he's averaging 10 wins a season.
Yes.
And he is already 5th on the all-time coaching wins list at DePauw University. Only Nick Morozes, Gami Neal, Tom Mott, and Bill Lynch have won more games than Brett Dietz. On the handoff.
Handoff to number 2.
That's Johnson.
Carson Johnson.
Johnson, 9th carry for 47 yards.
Additional hit made by number 94, Sam Pariah.
Yeah, I think some of those last couple drives throwing the ball down the field a little bit. You were closer to midfield. See if you could put some more points on the board. Pad the stats a little bit. This might be more traditional. Hey, let's run out of the clock here, get out of here with the win, and move on to the playoffs.
They're not normally wins this sizable in Crawfordsville for DePauw. They won 36-14 here back in 2008. I want to thank all of you joining us on the Zoom room today. It's great to be able to showcase watch parties from all across the world. I think Mr. Burke in Switzerland felt it was time to go to bed at this late stage. What is now 9:53 Central European time. Since the Colts played in Berlin last week, I'm kind of more familiar with exactly the time.
That was quick.
Great addition, though. I hope to see the Zoom room back next year. It's nice to see the fans out there and what they're doing, where they're watching the game, how they're watching the game.
Third down and 4. This will be the 28th all-time win for DePauw here in Crawfordsville. And a timeout will be taken by DePauw. Again, we'll keep it right here with 5:11 left to go.
Fans, please remember to stay off
So we will talk with head coach Brett Dietz. Maybe we'll try to sneak a player conversation in as well at the conclusion of today's game.
after the
Yeah, I think for DePauw, I mean, you're obviously thrilled with this win, the way that you're playing, the way that you punched back from that adversity, getting down 7-0, and these are things that you really can take the next couple of weeks in the Division III playoffs. I think too, you take the fact that you had a bye and then you won a playoff game last year, and then you're in it with a team that John Hopkins went to at least the Final Four. I don't know if it was the Final Four in the national championship game, one of the two. So that was a really good team. They played down the last play. So this is a playoff experience and battle-tested team too. A lot of these guys played key roles for that squad last year. And so the goal here is, hey, how do you keep it up? How do you advance maybe a round further? But I think over the last 2 years, you look at DePauw, they've proven themselves on the national stage. Still nothing more important, I think, than winning this game right here. But a lot of momentum that they'll carry and a lot of lessons from tough game against John Carroll and coming back, being down in this one, that they can take forward as well.
Want to say hello to the watch party taking place down in Bloomington. Folks at Lenny's checking in to watch today's game. 3rd and 4. All-out blitz coming. Because of that, Ballantyne elects to keep it. He'll run. He'll slide after the first down. However, flag behind the play, so that positive gain may be coming back because there is a Wabash player down behind the play. Hold the call against DePauw.
Yeah, and at some point with the playoffs looming, Brad, I think they would be getting Scott and some of these other starters out of the game.
Steve, you nailed it. Seeing Scott Ballantyne take off right there, I got nervous. You're at the end of a rivalry game. Tempers are, maybe flaring. Kids are upset. He got down. Good for him for sliding, but I got nervous watching him run at that speed out of that pocket at this point in the game. Get down or get out, and it might be time.
Yeah. Zeph Johnson is the injured player down for Wabash. Let's talk about some of the seniors that are playing their final Wabash College football game today here in the Bell. Quinn Scholler, Cannon Chase, TJ Alexander, Xavier Tyler, who will finish in the top 10 in terms of career rushing yards at Wabash College. Brody Fry, Zeph Johnson, Jerry McBee, Gavin Rupert, Mike Holzclaw, Mike Hegwood, Brock Robertson, amongst those that are going to play their final game in a Wabash College uniform. There are others, Sam Ringer, Connor Grimes, Brody Rucker certainly deserve a mention as well. And others that are more backup or more depth kids, or kids that, they're on the football team, but frankly, they're experienced more as students, as everybody is here at Wabash College. You've been in this spot. What is it like knowing that there's a good chance this is the last time you put football pads on?
It's changed a little bit with the Open Doors Bowl, which is hard for me to get my head around. But it used to be, I'd see players, and we talk about this every year, I'd see players in the locker room after this game. It used to be win or lose before the playoffs were expanded with, sitting with their helmet on 45 minutes after the game ended because they can't get themselves a ticket. Coach Gilbert talked about that the other day because, it's a different sport. Every other sport you can go play in an adult league. There are not many adult tackle football leagues out there. So once you can play in flag, but once the pads are off, they're off. And it's tough. And it's a huge senior class for Wabash. That's a credit to the nice program that Coach Don Morell has built.
On the handoff.
Continuing, sorry.
Muscle memory, quite all right. So Seth Menser, first time we have called his name today. And DePauw will punt it away with 4:44 and counting left to go in the contest. And now it may be about kind of getting some seniors some final moments. Again, Wabash will play again. It will be in the Open Doors Bowl at what is now the Tom Benson Stadium, where the Hall of Fame game is played every year in Canton, Ohio. Last year, Wabash played Hanover in that game. Again, that kick does get away. And again, that's an absolute cannon that is hit. Adams will pick it up just shy of the 20-yard line, and the guy that just ran the football made the tackle.
I'll tell you what, between Gomez and Rucker, that's 6 or 7 really good punts that we've seen. All this direction, right, with that wind, the rolling, kicking it high. Like it's been a great game for the punters today.
Another flag comes into play here. I think this is going to be against Wabash, given the fact they're giving Coach Dietz the option of whether to re-kick or simply add it onto the punt, and I'm sure it's going to be the latter at this stage of the game. You hear that bell ringing in the background, as we do every year in this game. Brad, what's your favorite moment involving the bell?
For TV or not?
Well, you can give a PG-13 version. Nothing that would incriminate you from a legal perspective.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, like Steve said, I wasn't around very much what was on campus, so I get asked that a lot. So it would probably be just parading. Honestly, I think just going across the different fraternity houses, seeing it in different locations, what each house would do with it in a good way, and it was respectful usually. So it was just fun to see it paraded through campus to different locations, so different fraternities, different groups, different parts of the student body could see it and experience it, not just on the field. For that one night where you get to see it really on campus coming alive is really cool.
Steve, favorite story you've got about the bell?
Officially spotted on the 21, first and 10.
Just so many. It's just seeing the guy, carry it off and like Brad said, going around campus. Now, when Wabash has it, we will ring it for an entire week after the win on the steps of the chapel, except during class times because professors didn't really like that. and then a week before the game, the next year, freshmen are responsible for sitting on the steps of the chapel with it. And one cool image I had actually was going by there some morning, and a kid is sitting there. He had a rope tied to the bell in his foot, and he was ringing it while he was doing his homework and reading with his two hands and reading and highlighting, whatever they do these days. But he kept the bell ringing while he's studying, and I thought that was a pretty cool image. So, the tradition is phenomenal, and everybody is all in from each school. Alumni are all in, and that's what makes it so special.
Dom DeTola in on the tackle. Third down here for Wabash.
It's always really cool to see people that maybe didn't go to these schools but have wanted to see the game for the first time and come. You bring a friend, you bring a family there, and they get to ring the bell. That's a really neat thing to see. People, I got to do it. I got to ring the bell. It's really cool.
Gilbert throws, catch made. Roselle on the tackle. Catch made by T.J. Alexander, so the senior gets another grab. It'll be fourth down. And again, Wabash will go for it here. 0 for 2 on fourth down so far today are the Little Giants. All coming basically after this game has been decided. Mr. Ballantyne has the appearance of a man whose day is done.
Yes, it does.
What a debut in the Bell game for Scott Ballantyne. Gilbert fires. Catch made Adams. Adams has the first down, and he'll step out of bounds after a gain past the 40-yard line. Needed 2 and ended up picking up 12. First down, Wabash.
Adams takes the ball
in for Wabash. The young man they got to place on the offensive line is going to be a tough player to replace both on campus and in the football program, in Quinn Scholler. We'll talk about him when we come back, but it's time for us to take our final time out of this one. The Bell will stay in Greencastle. First, they got to take it home. 41-14, DePauw leads this one, 2 to play on the ISC Sports Network.
The community here is something that helped me transition and make me feel at home. I don't get to talk to my family every day because of the time difference and whatnot, but the people here are nothing less than a family to me, and that's something that I value a lot.
Every step of the way, there's a part of the DePauw social experience that allows people to get involved, but also remain involved with the people in their pockets on campus.
DePauw provides lasting connections over and over again, and a lot of places don't have that.
The Alumni Network is obviously amazing, everyone knows that, but until you're actually put in a situation where you get to interact with them, that's when you truly get to see it.
One of my favorite things to talk about with alumni is what was Wabash like before I got here. It's another level of connection that you have with them.
I have taken advantage of the Alumni Network to seek out internships, and they've been incredibly supportive. And that's something you don't see everywhere, is the alums wholeheartedly putting themselves back into the community.
41-14 is the score. The Labus family checking in. And look at the DePauw finely crafted woodwork that you're seeing on the broadcast.
Nice. Nowhere to get one of those.
I say Brad is thinking, I've got 6 weeks before Christmas. I can work on that as we
Wabash
speak.
Commercial on in the background.
Former Tiger.
I knew you would catch that.
I saw some red. Hey.
Yeah, send in where to get that. I don't know if that's an Amazon purchase or not. That might have been Matt Labus, former DePauw player. Let's send in the info on that.
So 1st and 10. Gilbert throwing the deep ball for Adams. He's got it. Taken down at the 20-yard line after a pickup of 38 yards. First down, Wabash.
Tell you what, reasons to be excited next year for Wabash. Luke Adams, I mean, already a fantastic year now, but he's at close to 200 yards today receiving. He's had a fine afternoon.
Yeah, he's kind of a big play receiver. He's coming off there a little gimpy, looks like, but yeah, he's been a nice addition to the program last year when he came back from Southeast Missouri State.
9 catches, 189 yards. Looking, end zone. A little high, but Alexander Whitten got it. I think he got a foot down, yes, at the 2-yard line.
Jackson Gilbert with a couple of nice throws in a row. Really, really nice, and 2 great catches.
The 1st and goal for Wabash at the 2-yard line. Trying to reach the end zone one more time. Tyler will get there. Well, that's kind of a send-off touchdown. One of the best running backs in program history. Tyler on the score to make it 41-20 with 1:30 left to play.
Yeah, well said. That was nice for him, get him in the end zone on his last rush as a top 10 career yards running back.
And again, he'll have the option of playing in the bowl game next week. And Rutgers' kick is no good. So both teams with a missed extra point, and because of that extra point, Brad, that is the reason why this year's score is not the exact same as last year's score.
Oh.
It was 42-21 last year in Greencastle, and it's 41-20 this time around.
You know, I will say, I wanted to mention Matthew Berry did, with a couple extra points today, break the all-time record in DePauw history, most career extra points made for the Tigers kicker. It helps to be kicking when you are scoring at a prolific rate for a few years, but you still got to put them through the upright, so congratulations to him on that record, that career record for DePauw.
For number 22, this was career touchdown number 24 from a rushing standpoint. Tyler, as of now, be just shy of 2,400 yards rushing. And yes, that DePauw fan number one in more ways than one. DePauw preparing for an onside kick just in case. You would think if they get the ball back, it's victory formation time. Again, Kelsie Kasper will get a word with Coach Dietz. We'll try to get at least a player conversation as well. And it is the onside kick. Flag flies. If DePauw has the football, which they do, obviously they will decline it and simply put this one to bed and move on to the Division III playoffs for a 5th consecutive year. And again, DePauw, obviously, scheduled to host this game next year. However, because of construction at Blackstock Stadium, location could be up in the air for that game. Offside flag will be enforced, but after the reception of the kickoff. So it'll be DePauw football just shy of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it'll be exciting, obviously, to see that new facility in a couple of years. It'll be exciting to see where this game ends up, how that works, and it's crazy to think it may not be in Greencastle. May go 4 years potentially in between games in Greencastle.
Here's what I can tell you for certain. We at ISC would like to have the Bell game back for a 6th consecutive year and have the trio of us plus Kelsie on the call again. Valentine will hand the ball off. Menser with a gain of 7.
So we're told that awesome coffee table was Jake Labus's. That was made by him. So it's not an Amazon purchase. So unfortunately for Christmas.
Jake, apparently there's a market for that in case you'd like to work on your entrepreneurial skills. I'm not sure Steve's going to buy it, but Brad would certainly like to.
Yeah, inquire.
Obviously, DePauw kind of waiting for the play call and trying to milk as much time off the clock as possible. One more time, thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Jordan Shue, Dennis Glover, Adam Phipps, Brant McCoskey, Andy Lynch, Brian Pierce, Matt Badiato, Eldon Wheeler, Dylan Lax, Mike McManus, and Nick Seeger. DePauw has to run one more play. Clock was blown dead there because it was a first down. But again, still have to run one more snap, and now it looks like it's victory formation time. Four consecutive Bell victories for DePauw University as they come to Crawfordsville and win this one by a final score of 41-20. And one thing that you are seeing revitalized here, and this was stressed by both schools, resume the tradition of shaking hands at the end of the game. So fans will be allowed to come onto the field very soon. They wanted to make sure that all players had a chance to show a sign of sportsmanship and respect in this rivalry by shaking hands at the end of this game.
Yeah, it's a cool thing, and I'm glad to see them do it. A lot of these guys know each other from not only this game, but from high school, from just playing each other, know each other across the state or the Midwest. So it's a real cool sign of respect here from both of these programs. Celebration will always be there in a few minutes. This is really neat to see.
You have so many of these young men that were high school teammates. Let's face it, the world is a smaller place than it used to be. Everybody kind of tends to know everybody through social media, travel ball, things of that nature. And if you're recruited by Wabash, you're often recruited by DePauw and vice versa. There'll be plenty of time to celebrate for the DePauw Tigers, but it's handshakes first.
And with these two programs, it takes a long time to get through the handshake line because I know Wabash is right at a 160 on the roster, and looking at DePauw's list and roster, it's got to be about the same.
And that's
so
basically, Steve, I'm sorry to step up, about 15% of the student body, right, that plays football at Wabash College, going to be in that number?
Yes.
Kelsie Kasper is standing by with a man that has just won his fourth consecutive Bell game in Brett Dietz.
Well, Coach, your team didn't take their foot off the gas in the second half. You had contributions from everyone today. How did this group dominate in a team win?
Yeah, really proud of the defense there, especially second half. We sputtered a little bit on offense, and, man, the defense really stepped up. That's a great football team. I mean, Wabash is a great football team. They got great dudes, great coaches. We played really well today.
What can you say about your sophomore quarterback, Scott Ballantyne? First Monon Bell game on the road. He throws for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I mean, Scotty's wise beyond his years. I mean, he is a sophomore by age, but not by mental quarterback IQ. He's well ahead of it. He works at it. He cares, he prepares, he works at it, and he's got a really good dude to throw to as number 84.
Certainly. These seniors are perfect in Bell games. 4 straight for the Tigers. How big is this win specifically for that group?
You know, that goes down in Monon Bell history, right? I mean, all the alums talk about being 4 bells, and we haven't had it in probably 25 years. I think 2000 was the last time that's happened. So to get this crew, this thing, I mean, it's something they set out for beginning of the year, at our beginning of the year goals meeting, and they wanted to get 4 bells, and they're in a pretty illustrious class in DePauw history.
And what does 4 straight Bell wins just mean overall for the program that you're building in Greencastle?
I mean, it's huge, right? Anytime you get a win over your rival, especially a team that we respect as much as that, and as good as a football team that they are this year, it's huge, right? And we expect it to be a 4-quarter game, and I still think it was, regardless of what the score was. It was a 4-quarter football game, and nothing but respect for those guys.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Congrats.
Thank you.
Brett, thank you very much. Kelsie, thank you very much. Brad, again, you got to lead the broadcast because of owning the Bell. You get to lead the postgame show. Thoughts as to how this one played out today?
I feel bad. I like Steve quite a lot, so I'm leading on all these comments. But look, it's an incredible run that DePauw is on. We knew this was a really, really good football team, just as Wabash was a really good football team. I think for DePauw, and Brett Dietz, he's kind of figured some things out these last couple of years and had a lot of things go their way in the Monon Bell Classic and in the playoffs too. They've won playoff games now. They want to continue that in the next couple of weeks. This is a really, really good program. And to see, a sophomore quarterback in his first Bell game, what a a performance by Scott Ballantine. We talked a lot about Robbie Ballantine, but Scott with an outstanding performance, spreading the ball around. They used the run game just a little bit for a sophomore in his first Bell game. Almost felt like I didn't talk about him enough. He had a fantastic afternoon and showed that he's a guy that can lead this team in the playoffs.
Steve, again, you and I kind of got a conversation going already about, unfortunately, 0 for 4 in terms of Bell games to this senior group, but you touched on something that kind of had a spark in my mind. You said that Jake Gilbert really liked this freshman class. And again, folks, because of Jake being a high school coach in Westfield, the thing we haven't touched on yet today, Jake was so involved in the Indiana Football Coaches Association. Every high school football coach in the state knows Jake Gilbert. I think there is very much, not that the past has been dim in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Right. I think there is a very bright future for this football program. It may not feel good today. This is a good football team at Wabash, and I think even better days are ahead.
Yeah, and first let me say, Brad talked about commenting first on all these. To the bell go the spoils, as they say. So that's what you get to do when you win the Bell game. But, yeah, we had a freshman class of 70 strong, and for the most part they all stayed out. And, you know, he really likes them physically, but it just shows with either of these programs how hard it is to break into the starting lineup. Across the board with these two programs, they both have good freshman classes. Only one freshman starter, Sam Pariah from Westfield, where Jake came from. But, yeah, I think that recruiting is making a difference. He is known. He's also not just known, but respected. He was president of the Indiana Football Coaches Association. Has a couple state championships under his belt at Westfield High School. And so hopefully in the long haul, you know, as a Wabash fan, that'll start making a difference and paying dividends, and I think it will.
Steve, as always, a pleasure, my friend. I hope you and your crew I see at Lucas Oil Stadium a couple of weeks from now. Don't be a stranger, all right?
Yeah, we'll not.
Mr. Wochomurka, as a man that you and I have worked together for now going on our third decade in a variety of ways, and my no hair and your gray hair signifies that. Congratulations, alma mater, and it's a pleasure spending an afternoon with you, and we should do this more than once a year.
We should, and this is fantastic. I wish we did the Monon Bell more than once a year, but hey, that's what makes it special. But yeah, I appreciate it, Rick. It's been an absolute blast. Steve, always a lot of fun to do this game with you and to see, again, all these fans and this tradition and a beautiful day like this. Another great one for DePauw as they get to ring the bell, but a lot of fun, and thank you guys for letting me be a part of it.
We do not have a chance to thank Kelsie Kasper, so to speak, with an actual handshake, but she has been a wonderful asset of ours on the ISC Sports Network, and we are thrilled that she completes her third year working on the Monon Bell. Again, you saw the production crew get their kudos. We try to give them to you as often as possible. And for all of those that say thanks to us for how we produce this game every year, we say thanks to you, because it is your passion, your pride, your interest in these two schools that make a broadcast like this possible. And we are looking forward to 364 days from now. One more set of thank yous to give, and I shared this picture on Facebook, but both schools have two gentlemen that work in the SID office that are true Hall of Famers. One of them just put into the DePauw Hall of Fame in Bill Wagner, Brent Harris of similar ilk at Wabash College. They make our lives easy for this broadcast. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Brett, for your friendship and what you have meant to this rivalry. For our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you for joining us for Monon Bell number 131. Wherever we may be for Bell Game 132, we'll be happy to tell that story to you as well. Final score from Crawfordsville, DePauw 41, Wabash 20. You've been watching 131st Monon Bell Classic on the ISC Sports Network.